Hi. I'm going to go on here and see if you can hear me first. Oh, it says, what? I'm here. What's going on?
With that is...
All right. Let me find myself. Where'd that cough come from? From Baron? It says I'm not streaming. This is it. That says I'm streaming. Let me go somewhere else. Use a different phone. Well, here, I can just put it up here.
All right, guys, welcome in. Hey, sorry, I had my wrong microphone on during the interlude sound, and so you guys may have heard me hacking around trying to clear my throat. I don't think I'm getting sick. I think it's just that time of year when dry air sets in. Finally sets in the middle of Tennessee, and just dries absolutely everything out. And so I've been trying to save my voice on here. I'm just talking to a fellow podcast, Jason Good, on the phone just a little bit. I had a really, really good conversation with him. We're going to try to plan to do something together, not too terribly distant in the future, and he probably takes on a cycle.
Boop, boop.
So he's like, yeah, you know, he's got that stuff. You know, so I'm trying to save my voice for you guys. You're going to hear that crackling. I've been doing it all day.
All right, I hear myself. That light is like really obnoxious though. Boom. That light is really obnoxious though. Should I turn it off? What if I turn it off? You know what? Let's switch lights. Let's switch lights. Now one's too dark, one's too bright. I need to do that like whole Goldilocks thing. This one is too bright. And that one's right in my face too, so that one kind of sucks. So, ooh, sorry. Let me try a different light. I think I'm just going to keep it. Because this is a chill stream and I'm not going to go all crazy with lighting and blah blah blah. Baron's on tonight, so we're going to get some work done or not, or just play some games. And we'll go from there.
And so I will do my best to fight through it. I want you guys a week or so.
Are you guys familiar with Baron Coleman? He's pretty good. Here, let me show his information.
I'm still here because I have so many shows lined up.
See, Baron Coleman.
I just don't. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to cover. We're going to cover.
Like, he went from like 3,000 subscribers when I saw him, and then the next day it was like 80. He blew up.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, my book came. Joe's book came. Joe's book came. It's here.
Joe's book came.
I've been reading it. I've been taking notes. I've been highlighting sections. Joe, you've met your match. You met your match. It's a high IQ outfit, Joe. So, yeah, we got a lot to cover. A whole lot to cover. The opening statement's fun. This is one of the more fun opening statements I've put together in a while. I've had to kind of kick it around my head. I just haven't known the right time to do it. And last night triggered. I got very triggered last night. I wasn't that triggered. But I had a good time last night with the family. And I had to sit down today and sort of recount it. So let me get into the opening statement. We've got a lot of news to get to tonight. Some breaking news. We will be uncovering things today. This is one of those shows. If you've been following the Charlie Kirk investigation, you want to text people and tell them to tune in.
Have you been following the Charlie Kirk investigation?
Let me make sure it's the first story. Let me get down to the line. Yes, the first story we're going to cover tonight is breaking news. It has not been covered anywhere on any YouTube channel relative to the Charlie Kirk investigation, period, of the story. So if you know somebody who's following this investigation closely, You need to tell them they got about 15 minutes because it's going to take me, when I did my read through on the opening statement today, it was 13 minutes and 27 seconds. I imagine I'll go a little quicker because the adrenaline starts kicking in when I see the red light. And that means I read a little quicker, then I do this rolling. Oh, I almost forgot. I got a new teleprompter program. I'm not going to use this tonight. But it's awesome. It is awesome. So you won't see my eyes doing this the whole time in openings in the future. And looking off to the side and looking down at the screen. You're not going to see all that. One day I'm going to perfect the ability to read the teleprompter. I'm going to look like a newsroom. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Let me see.
He just left his full-time job, and now he's a full-time YouTuber. He really blew up. I'm so happy for him.
Again, this is one of those you just want to reach out to people and say, hey, there's some big news coming. Oh, brand new.
Oh,
brand new.
too hot to drink.
I call this Vatican City Ceiling Blue. If you've been to the Sistine Chapel and you look up and you see all that beautiful blue, this is Vatican City Ceiling Blue. This is the glass. This is the glass. This is not the other blue. I have another similar blue, but that's not it. That has a ink logo. The color of that logo is ink. This is a cloud logo. This is Vatican City Ceiling Blue cloud logo. Okay, I'm going to go into the opening statement, and then we're going to break some monster news on the Charlie Kirk investigation. You are not. You might have been granted an entire chair. You will not need it. You will not need it. You will only need the forward third or so. You will be on the edge of your seat when we're covering news. The opening statement.
You only need the forward
In
third.
February 1992.
Oh no, I left the timer going.
Was visiting. Oh, actually, I gotta get this pulled up so I can show you a picture. Scratch that start. This is what you guys pay for. This is what you pay the big bucks for. You tune in for free so you can see me screwing around on the screen here. That's why you guys do this, right? Okay. Oh man. Yeah,
Okay.
there we go. All right. Dang it. Hold on. It's you know what I'll do? I'm just gonna show you the I don't want to give away the rest of this though. Man, I wish I was a professional broadcaster sometimes. It would be so I wish you guys deserve so much better than this, me flailing around trying to show you a picture of George H.W. Bush. Actually, you know what? You're not going to see the picture of George H.W. Bush. I'll show it later. Just imagine later you see a picture of George H.W. Bush. All right, back to the opening statement.
See, he's so good.
This is a professional operation. February of 1992, incumbent Republican President George H.W. Bush was visiting a grocers convention in Florida. The visit was part of his high duties of being both a president and a presidential candidate. Such dual-purpose appearances are not unusual in presidential politics. In fact, most of the final year of a first-term president often occupies this dual-purpose space of being both president and also running for president. At one point during his visit, executives from the completely appropriately named company National Cash Register demonstrated what at the time was cutting-edge technology that had been making its way to supermarkets around the country. We take the device for granted today, but it had, at the time, were advanced features, including a mechanism to automatically scan barcodes and a scale to weigh the
This is a abandoned house that raccoons took over, and people started feeding the raccoons. Pretty cool.
Took a cheap shot at sitting President George H.W. Bush with a headline that read, "Bush encounters supermarket, amazed." The rest of the media ran with the narrative and painted President Bush as an elitist who couldn't possibly understand the plight of everyday Americans. The appearance of being out of touch with the very real problems Americans were facing during, and perhaps as a result of, the Bush presidency was devastating. The economy was beginning to sputter. Conservative Pat Buchanan was challenging Bush in the primary, forcing Bush further to the right than he wanted to be for the upcoming general election. Ross Perot and Bill Clinton were licking their chops at the possibility of facing a wounded incumbent in November. And no matter what President Bush tried, he could not shake from the public consciousness the image of him on the front page of the New York Times, looking amazed at what most Americans saw as an ordinary cash register. President Bush might have been unfairly tarnished with this particular story involving his amazement at cash register technology, but many Americans were primed to believe the story because Bush was, as most presidents are, fantastically wealthy and generationally well-connected. President George H.W. Bush had been born into the blue blood Bush family. He attended an elite boarding school. He went to Yale. He then moved to Texas, where he used his family's money and resources to found an oil company. He was elected to Congress in a district he'd only lived in a few years. He was appointed by President Nixon as ambassador to the United Nations. He became chairman of the Republican Party.
Let me take away the chat so you guys can see who this is.
Ford later appointed him to be director of the CIA. It was on this resume that Flip Siders forced George Bush on Ronald Reagan when Reagan needed to announce a VP candidate in his 1980 White House run.
Oh, this is
George
me.
H. Bush nearly became president in 1981 instead of having to wait until 1989. On March 30th, 1981, John Hinckley Jr. allegedly shot President Ronald Reagan after a speaking engagement at the Washington Hilton Hotel. The official story is that Hinckley struck Reagan with a round from a revolver that ricocheted off the side of the presidential limousine and struck Reagan under his left arm, breaking a rib, puncturing a lung, and causing nearly catastrophic internal bleeding. As has become custom in high-profile neutralizations and neutralization attempts, that was one magic bullet. The alleged would-be assassin, John Hinckley Jr., hailed from his own politically connected family, the Hinckley family. His father, George Warnock Hinckley Sr., was the founder, chairman, and CEO of Vanderbilt Energy Corporation. Vanderbilt Energy had by 1980 become mired in legal problems and was facing increased scrutiny from the Department of Energy for alleged overcharges on crude oil sales from 1976 to 1980. By the time the 1980 presidential election rolled around, Vanderbilt Energy was facing the very real prospect of crippling civil and criminal fines and other legal consequences related to its alleged illegal activity. It was in this context that the Hinckley family became ardent and huge supporters of George H.W. Bush's 1980 presidential campaign. At the time, George Bush faced Ronald Reagan in the primary and was his only serious competition for the
I'm going to take this out of here and I'm going to redo
the
it.
relationship between the Bushes and the Hinkleys was more than just a candidate and his supporters.
I have to be able to
Both
see
families,
my
being
chat
also a
room.
family, they had a lot in common and crossed paths quite frequently. In fact, one of the strangest facts in all of American political lore is that the brother of the would-be Ronald Reagan assassin was supposed to have dinner with Vice President Bush's son, Neil Bush, on the night of the attempted assassination. Let me clarify, because the facts need to be clarified so as not to be misunderstood. Just before 2:30 p.m., March 30th, 1980, John Hinckley Jr. allegedly tried to neutralize President Ronald Reagan. Had the neutralization been successful, George H.W. Bush would have been President of the United States before the end of that afternoon. On that very same evening, March 30th, 1981, I meant to say 81 earlier, it said 80 on my script, but on that very same evening, March 30th, 1981, when George H.W. Bush would have been elevated to the presidency by the alleged act of John Hinckley Jr., President Bush's son, Neil, was scheduled to have dinner with John Hinckley Jr.'s brother, Scott. Small world indeed. To their credit, Neil Bush and Scott Hinckley canceled their dinner. One wonders if perhaps the dinner was canceled because the Hinckleys failed attempt. Not because of the attempt itself. To add more intrigue to the story, you might not know that the psychiatric hospital where Hinckley was sent after the attempt had historical links to the CIA and CIA's MK-Ultra program. The CIA admits the MK-Ultra program was founded in 1953 and says it was halted in 1973. The documented purpose of the program was to discover methods to manipulate mental states and brain functions, and to control the minds of non-consenting and unaware test subjects. The program tried psychoactive drugs like LSD and other chemicals, as well as electroshocks, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, verbal and physical abuse, and torture. The program was unveiled to the public by the 1975 Church Committee, headed by Senator Frank Church. The investigation was hampered by the CIA's willing and intentional destruction of files related to the program. CIA Director Richard Helms is alleged to have given that order. None of this, of course, definitively proves that Hinckley made an attempt on Reagan's life on account of an order by his Bush-connected family, or because he was brainwashed by a CIA mind control program. But it does raise...
All right, I want to use my be right back thing. Be right back. I'll be right back. I'm going to leave in case there's any noises in the raccoon house. I mean, just make sure that that's on. Nope. There we go. This is what I'm making sure the noises. If I can see a little raccoon, is that a raccoon sleeping? We'll look later. Okay, back. Wait, that didn't go off. Wait, what did happen? There we go. I turned the wrong one off. Such a professional. Alright, I think I want to work on just a few things with this. But let's listen to Barron.
Why more people don't know the full story of the attempt on Ronald Reagan's life? Why don't more people know about the Hinckley family's connection to the Bush family? Why don't more people know about Vanderbilt Energy and its legal problems that would have been solved overnight by a sympathetic president of the United States? Why don't more people know about the very real history of our government's attempt to control the minds of both witty and unwitting subjects? I thought of this story last night when Mrs. Coleman and I stopped by a Steak and Shake after running a few errands. If you're going to get fast food, you might as well stop by a Maha-inspired fast food chain. It has greasy french fries cooked in beef tallow instead of seaweed. This is not a...
What's a Steak and Shake?
Where we stopped and why. When I went to place my order, I felt a little like the caricature of George Bush in the supermarket back in 1992. For context, I've been eating at this very same Steak and Shake location since I was in high school back in the 1990s. You used to walk in, grab a seat, and the server would come by and take your order. At some point along the way, the server was removed and you placed your order with the cashier at the register. Now the cashier has been removed and you have to take your own order on a touchscreen kiosk. The problem is that my orders aren't easy. I like to create orders at the Steak and Shake. I don't want cheese or buns, for example. I want my patty and burger trimmings on the plate with a bed of fries. I'm weird and I can accept that. And I grew increasingly frustrated at the impersonal nature of the encounter and a growing realization I wasn't going to get what I wanted. I wasn't talking to a human who could understand my admittedly strange order and make sure things come out the way I want them. So we left. we decided to stop by Shake Shack instead. We got to Shake Shack and ran into the same issue. Touchscreen kiosk, no human being. Some may not be bothered by this, but it bothers me. I don't want to give my order to a robot. I don't want to punch it in myself on a touchscreen.
I get that. I don't want to give my.
I want human understanding.
Yeah, no.
That's not me being an outside elitist who doesn't understand the technology. That's me being a human being. We long for connection, belonging, humanity. There may eventually be no restaurant standing that hires actual human beings to interact with their customers. But until that reality comes to pass, I'll keep going for ones that do. And for the record, Mrs. Coleman and I went across the parking lot and dined at the restaurant where my daughter works. My daughter is the beautiful 19-year-old girl at the cash register taking customers' orders. So with that, that is the opening statement. I saw somebody in the comments saying, go to the drive-thru. I don't want to go to the drive-thru. I don't want to go to the drive-thru.
I don't want to either.
Oh, yeah, somebody else said just use the self-checkout at the grocery store. I sat beside somebody the other day with 74 items in their cart. Boop in the boop machine one at a time. Boop. And then like 4 minutes would go by while they were funneling into the UPC station. Boop. Took forever. Absolutely miserable. Absolutely miserable. I guess I can show that picture of George H.W. Bush. I just couldn't do it while my opening statement. Let's see here. This is George Bush at the boop machine. He was totally baffled. Like, this picture basically undid his presence. They put that picture in the New York Times with a story about how he was amazed at the cash register. And ordinary people looked at that and they were like, oh, he doesn't identify with us. I'm voting for the guy who plays sax for Arkansas. All right, let me get to the biggest news of the night. This is a real issue. There's a leak in TV USA. And there's a leak in Brian Harpole's security vault. And by comparing the leaks, I've been able to do some good old-fashioned shoe leather reporting. So I want to put up a schedule.
He said shoe leather.
That Charlie Kirk was supposed to be on this fall before he passed away. I want to put up a schedule that Charlie Kirk was supposed to be on this fall. This is using the Wayback Machine. I had to use the Wayback Machine because DPUSA has hidden everything. They have made it absolutely nearly impossible to find anything. But this is the Utah Valley University Prove Me Wrong table. This is from September 7th, 3 days before Charlie Kirk passes away. This is what the American Comeback Tour website looks like. So we have September 10th. We have September 18th. An evening event and a Prove Me Wrong table. And then we have September 22nd at the University of Mississippi. Also another evening event, and then September 24th at Virginia Tech. And the reason I raised those dates is because Brian Harpole, if you recall on the Sean Ryan show, said that they started prepping a couple of weeks before these events. In addition to these events, I will play a piece from the Candace Owens show Friday, where she talked about an event that was taking place on, actually, let me look it up. Where she talked about an event taking place the very next day. And this is important. I'm going to explain to you why I'm sharing all this with you in light of the...
All right, one more. Be right back. Hold on. Hold on. Whoop. Are you okay? So, hold on. Okay, hold on. I got it. It's out of your way.
very real leak out of TPUSA and out of Brian Harpole's security company. This is pretty devastating for them. This is going to cause real problems as soon as we announce this tonight. But here's how Candace Owens described the situation.
Well, interestingly enough, I received a tip from someone that was directly involved with the planning of an event that Charlie Kirk was supposed to attend the following day, on September 11th. The day after his assassination, Charlie was slated to speak in Woodland Park, Colorado, at the Therese Bible College. Okay, so that's in Woodland Park, Colorado. He was slated to speak there. And according to this person, after Charlie was assassinated, there was a bit of a panicked meeting that took place, which was headed by the chief of police. They decided to transform this event into a vigil, and they were panicked because, believe it or not, they had absolutely no security plan in place. You know, how odd. We don't have a security plan in place. Now we better consider this, and we need to make sure that we have police officer involvement. What in Dan Flood and Brian Harpole and Turning Point USA's security have any coordination with the police departments up in Colorado?
It's a good question, Candace. It's a great question, as a matter of fact. I'm going to go one step further tonight and report new details on that event. But I'm not going to do it yet because I next have to show you a second event that was scheduled to take place on September 19th and 20th. September 19th and 20th of the month. So we have a September 11th event, a September 10th event, we pass it away. We have a September 18th and 19th event, or 19th and 20th event right here. This is the Culture and Christianity Conference. This is in Tennessee, I believe. Speaker lineup here. Charlie Kirk was scheduled to speak at the conference. Obviously, he was not able to make it. There's a nice lineup here. These are all fantastic. Well, there's some really fantastic people up there, and then there's some duds. I'll say I like Sage Steele. I love Jason Whitlock. Derek Metaxas is a little bit of a dud. Ron McCoy, obviously, you know my thoughts on him. I like 2010 and 2012 Ron. If I could get that Ron McCoy back, that'd be fantastic. So let's just say there's a couple of people there that are already. So, no security on September 11th, according to Candace, when he was supposed to travel to Woodbury, Colorado. Then we find out he had an event September 18th and 19th, or excuse me, 19th and 20th, or 19th or 20th, we're not sure which. And if we go back to the American Comeback Tour, we find out that's not the only event. No, because remember, before the September 19th and 20th event, we have Colorado State University. Prove me wrong. Colorado State University, evening event. So he was going to be there all day, essentially, on September 18th in Colorado. And so I want to raise an issue for you. Actually, I want to play one more. I want to play one little clip here of Brian Harpole. I bit the bullet, guys. I did something none of you would do. I went and watched Brian Harpole on Gary from Paramount Packaging. I saved you the pain of having to do it. Trust me, you did not want to do it. I know you didn't because no one else did. I saw the numbers. It was every bit what you think it was, so don't worry about having to turn it on. And YouTube, if you get mad at all the firearms in the background, it ain't me. I would blur them out if I could, but I'm playing it on your platform. Now, I want you to hear what he says here. I want you to hear what he says here. This is Brian Harpole talking about what happened after the Utah Valley University event on September 10th. Listen to what he describes.
And it was due to one incident where after Charlie was assassinated, and our world was upside down, and I couldn't get home. So I was home temporarily, but not back up there trying to assist the family, the organization, anything they needed. Literally, I spread it within the hospital.
Okay, two relevant facts there I need you to follow. One, he couldn't even get home. Did you hear that? I couldn't even get home. So that was fact number one. Did anybody catch a problem with that fact right out the gate? Right out of the gate. He had an event the next night. Why was he going to be going home? So that's problem one, and that's not even the big problem. That doesn't have anything to do with the leak. That's all public information. And this year, did he have an event the next day? I assume he would want to have security at his event. The only on-site, full,
I don't want to do this right now.
fully paid security would have been Dan Flood, presuming he was there. So that's number one. I couldn't even get home. Why were you going home? Why weren't you going to the event at Woodbury, Colorado the next day? And then the second thing was, and then he said, when I finally did get home, I was right back up there with those folks. I'm assuming he means fingers. I'm assuming he means fingers. So here's the news I'm going to bring. And I want you guys to listen carefully to this, because I'm going to use my words very, very cautiously. I do not want to have to repeat this a bunch of different ways if you guys can't get it. So I need you to tune in. I need you right here with me. Here is the reality. According to leaks out of TPUSA and out of Brian Harpole's very security report. Here is the reality. Brian Harpole did not have a plane ticket home. Is what I'm told. Brian Harpole did not have a plane ticket home from Utah Valley University. Nor did he have a plane ticket to Woodbury, Colorado, or anywhere near there. In fact, I'm told there was no plane ticket at all. There was a one-way flight to Utah Valley University, or the Provo, or Salt Lake City, wherever it was. It was a one-way flight, and there was no return flight ticket. That's what I was told. And I believe the source. If there was a return flight scheduled, this insider report can't find a record. So that's problem one. So when he says he couldn't get home, one wonders when he had planned to try to get home. So that's problem one. Problem two is we know when he booked the flight to Orem, Utah, or to Provo, to Salt Lake City, wherever he went. We know that. How do we know that? Because it was on the receipt, the email he gave in preparation for his alibi. Oh, someone said Woodland Park. Is it Woodland Park? Not Woodbury. I mean, I'll try to turn it up a little bit, but just start flipping, I'm going to turn it back down. I see you guys. So I have a question. I think it's incompetent. This is almost Mitch Snow level report. I think Brian Harbaugh owes an explanation for, did he have a plane ticket out of Utah? Did he have a plane ticket to Woodland Park, Colorado, or Woodbury, whatever it is? And because we know he was to be in Fort Collins, Colorado on September 18th, and we know he booked the flight more than 2 weeks, or right at 2 weeks in advance of the Orem, Utah appearance, did he have a flight booked to the September 18th Colorado State University? Could be wrong. Or, for that matter, did he have one booked to the September 22nd?
Where's Cash Patel in all this?
You want me to spoil a little secret? You want me to tell you the answer to that question? Or do you think you already know the answer to that question?
Isn't he supposed to be the one who was going to set the world on
Oh,
fire?
there was no flight booked anyways. That's just what I'm told. Now,
Wait, I didn't hear what he said. I didn't hear what he said.
he had intended to get a flight back on the USA Gulfstream 5 flight that they used.
I didn't hear what he said. Let's
It
go
was
back.
unusual.
Boom.
Colorado State University proved me wrong with it. Or, for that matter, did he have one booked to the September 22nd, University of Minnesota event? You want me to spoil a little secret? You want me to tell you the answer to that question? Or do you think you already know the answer to that question? I'm told there was no flight booked anyways. That's just what I'm told. Now, is it possible he had intended to get a flight back on the TPUSA Gulfstream 5 flight that they used? Yeah. It would have been unusual. Perhaps. It would have been unusual, perhaps. But I want to know the second thing he said, because he said as soon as he got home, he turned around and he was right back to Phoenix. Well, actually, right home with. And so I just don't find his stories credible. I don't find what he says believable. But I suppose that's possible. But I'm told that would be unusual. I'm told that would be unusual. So, I think it's more consistent with Kansas saying he had no security the next day. There was no security plan in place at the Colorado event. And the chief of police looked around and said, have you guys not talked to anybody from them? How do we not have a security plan in place? I mean, the guy can't complain that we're covering this. He's been on 2 national podcasts. He brought this on. I mean, he himself been on 2 national podcasts. Nobody was actually asking for him to get involved on the national level. So he's made himself something of at least a limited purpose public figure. But I was told he had no return flight booked from DFW, booked to DFW from Utah. I was told there was no flight booked to Woodland Park event the next day. No flight to Fort Collins, Colorado. Indeed, there was no flight anywhere booked that I could find, according to the sources, back to his home. And again, that just strikes me as very unusual. Very, very unusual. So that is, I think, somewhat, at least, not only breaking news, not only insider news, but at least it's additionally support for Candace's position that there was no security plan in place the next day. That's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it. Okay. So I'm going to move on from this. I'm going to move on to Brian Harbaugh. I'm glad I only had to play like 28 seconds of that interview. Trust me, guys. Trust me, that's more than you wanted to watch. I can assure you, you did not want to see that. Now, here's the second thing I want to cover. We were all scandalized. Every one of us was scandalized when we had to look at the tent. When we had to look at the tent up at Amfest, and people were taking selfies in front of the tent. Would you guys be shocked to know this isn't the first time the tent had made an appearance?
What?
You guys remember
That's
the 2022
disgusting.
went on, right?
That was so disgusting.
LSU,
That was so disgusting.
Indiana, Ole Miss.
Can't
Well,
look.
here's one of them. Actually, I don't remember which one it is. There's this one. That's at one of the stops, and there's this one. I think this was LSU. Oops, sorry. Oh, did I screw it up? Oh, yeah, it is. Let me go back. I'm not very good with the PowerPoint stuff. Here we go. If you, I think this is the LSU event here. This is either LSU or Ole Miss. LSU, Ole Miss, and then this was the other. This one was. They had people taking selfies again under the tent. This was not unique to Amfest. So
That's
this one is like,
disgusting.
hey, we're having the Super Bowl of TPUSA. We're going to Phoenix. We're having Amfest. It's our biggest event of the year. Harley would have wanted to be here. This was his Super Bowl. Let's go ahead and put the tent out under which he was murdered. No. That's not it. It's so much worse than it. They're carrying the tent with them, allegedly. I mean, I watched a bunch of pictures of it. And this is from one of our greatest emails, one of our very high IQ emails, labeled Tracy W. This is not something they did for the first time at Amfest. These morbid people have been carrying this around. And look, there's a photo and video releasing. We might take your picture underneath the tent.
So disgusting.
And there's social media tags of it.
Who's doing
I don't
that?
understand the morbid, dark, twisted, sick minds of these people. I really don't. And it bothers me, and it worries me. It worries me because, again, as I talked about with Andrew, there are souls at play here. There are human souls at risk with this. There's
Wait,
something
did I get 2 Aldi bags, or was I just
There are so
charged
many
for 2
different steps
Aldi
in play.
bags?
For example,
I don't remember grabbing 2 Aldi bags. And where are they?
okay, but I think he owes us an explanation. I really do. I'm trying to, like I always, any argument I make, anything I say on here, any point I make on here, I always try to think of what the other side would say in response. And that's what if I'm TPUSA or Brian Harbaugh, that's what I had on the plane. I didn't book it through my way. I was just going to jump the ride with TPUSA, they were going to get my back. Nobody wanted to do that. Okay. Fine. Okay. Because it's cheaply, and it's a norm. Have you ever done that before?
Give
why
the
didn't you have
piggy
flights
some
booked?
parsley.
If you're planning to go home between the Utah Valley University and the Colorado State event, why didn't you have a flight booked to Colorado State? Now again, it could be, well, it's budget booked. That's paying flight time. Was it normal? You normally fly time to these events. No, that would be unusual. That would be a little unusual. But I cannot think for the life of me of any alternative explanation for that. Like I tried. The best I can come up with is people have a deep connection to Charlie Kirk sitting under tent, and this would somehow allow them to keep that deep connection alive. I mean, that's like the best I can come up with. That's honestly the best I can come up with, and I don't know. That is so weird to me. I can't believe somebody there was like, God, don't do that. Whatever you do, don't put the tent up. We've all seen the gory footage, and the tent is part of the lore. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't
Like I say,
do
can't
it.
sacrifice. They can't help themselves. They can't help. All right, I guess we're stopped here on that.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
I'm going to bring up, I'll go ahead and bring the whole thing up.
All right, I need my book.
We're going to switch topics to the state's filing. Now, this was given to me by Blake Bednars on a X space last night. He texted this over to me. This is the filing, and there's some things I want to read out of it, because it gives us real keen indication, perhaps, of what the state is intending to argue in the Colorado case. If you guys recall, there was a problem where one of the prosecutors had a child who was at the event. One of the county prosecutors who was actively prosecuting Tyler Robinson had a child who was at the event. I'll show you in a moment where that child was. I believe it's a female child. I believe I know exactly who it is. Confident I know exactly. I'm not going to name her on here, but I'll say her because that cuts 50% of the population. But this is the state's motion in opposition to disqualify the Utah County Attorney's Office. So I want to read from a little bit of the relevant facts, just a few paragraphs here of relevant facts. So September 10, 2025, Charlie Kirk hosted an outdoor forum sponsored by Turning Point on the campus of Utah Valley University. The event began several minutes after noon. Charlie Kirk sat on a stool under the tent at the bottom of the amphitheater, facing the quad center, where a microphone was set up a few feet away for attendees to debate him. I didn't find anything particularly compelling or controversial. There was no line of sight. So here what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out if the Utah County Prosecutor's Office should be excluded on the basis of where the child was standing. In other words, would the child be called as a witness? There was no line of sight between the girl in the girl's position in the amphitheater and the shooter from the Wilson Center group because the Sorensen Center stood between them. The girl would have lived 75 feet to the southeast before establishing a line of sight with the shooter. Well, what's the problem you see right out of the gate? It marries themselves to a single narrative, which is a gunshot came from the Losi Center. They're now marrying themselves to that. In other words, this girl can't be a witness because she couldn't have seen the Losi Center. Well, have the prosecutors or Tyler Robinson's team seen the footage put out recently by, I can't remember her last name, Kelly, she hangs out with Blake sometimes, she hangs out with British sometimes, I can't think of her last name, she likes me. Very talented reporter. And she comes out and she has spotted in one of the video feeds a figure moving on the Sorensen Center roof. Well, because they're marrying themselves to the Losi Center narrative, that kind of eliminates the fact that they might be looking into the Sorensen Center as a possibility at all. Let's go down to paragraph 7. When everyone realized there had been a shooting, the attendees crouched down, and after a few seconds, people started going away. The girl followed suit. The girl ran into the building behind her, entering through the building doors. So again, establishing that everyone realized there had been a shooting. And I don't take this for granted. I don't look at these languages and say, well, they can come back from this. No, their entire opposition rests on the fact that there was a shooting. I think, potentially, if I'm Tyler Robinson, people might come back and I say, oh, please, we don't admit there was a Kelly Ray message. We don't admit there had been a shooting. We don't admit there had been a shooting. We would like to challenge the evidence that there was a shooting at all. We've not seen any evidence of a shooting. I've not seen video footage circulating of a shooting. I've seen nobody take a gunshot in any video footage.
He was shot.
There are alternative
And his
explanations
head
for how
didn't
these
come
injuries
off.
could happen. But no, this is the Utah County
So
prosecutor
ridiculous.
basically marrying themselves to this. She never looked back at Charlie Kirk because she did not see him get carried away or see his wound. Also, she did not see anyone in the crowd or elsewhere with a gun. Did not see anything that made her believe anybody she saw was involved in the shooting. Again, establishing that she should not be called as a witness. She didn't see anything. Well, we'll question that in just a second. Final thing from the statement of facts here. Even after running the video,
Oh, logic class. He just got a logic book.
According to the Utah County
I want to get that
Prosecutor's
logic
Office, people in the
book.
crowd
So I'm
were
going to
unaware
keep
of the
that
shooting.
note.
You understand how significant that is right there? In an attempt to save the Utah County Prosecutor's Office, they're now hedging on the fact that witnesses might not believe they're going to shoot. Don't let that get past you. On the one hand, they're saying, we can't be excluded because there was a shooting, and she didn't see the shooting. On the other hand, they come right back behind it and say, in fact, the witness didn't even know there had been a shooting. You were in a shooting and didn't know there was a shooting? In fact, she just heard secondhand somebody had been shot. She sent 2 messages. We'll check out those text messages in a second to her family about the shooting. Those 2 text messages read, someone got shot. I'm okay. Everyone is going inside. Again, the Utah County Prosecutor's Office, in order to save themselves as the prosecuting agency on this case, had married themselves that there was a shooting, and she was in a position where she couldn't have seen it. And then they went on to say, and she didn't even know there was a gunshot. People in the crowd, in other words, did not know.
Oh, I want to write
there was a
apples
gunshot.
on my
I wanna
list
fast
for
forward here,
tomorrow.
because this is not necessary for the point I'm trying to make. And
I don't have any apples today.
This is from the section titled,
Apples.
for potential testimony is neither necessary nor related to a contested issue. In other words, all these facts are uncontested. That's the Utah County Prosecutor's position. I would love to read Tyler Robinson's attorney's response to this, because as a defense lawyer, why am I going to give them uncontested facts? I'm contesting every fact. I mean, we haven't even had a preliminary hearing yet. Why are we reading facts? You know what I mean? I cannot make this strongly enough here. Guys, the preliminary hearing isn't even so vague that we're aware of. Why are we agreeing to uncontested facts? I'm hoping Tyler Robinson's lawyer come back and say, we didn't agree to these facts. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm sorry, you guys were misunderstanding our position. Allow us, Judge, to clarify what it is we actually mean. We'll see if they file anything like it. Accordingly, this is again supposedly uncontested facts. The testimony that she, meaning the daughter of the prosecutor, the testimony that she could provide as a witness is both duplicative and obtainable from any other sources. What is more, the 5 witnesses whose witness statements have been attached to his motion had personal knowledge of many more facts than she did. I'm going to assume they did not use incorrect English there and with her name. I'm assuming they had it. But whatever, we're going to let it pass. Unlike her, all 5 of the witnesses the defendant identified were much
Called
closer to
invisible
when he was shot.
couple.
Do you see that? This is supposed to be a section of uncontested facts. Tyler Robinson's lawyers need to push back on this. And all 5 saw the consequences of the shot, describing Charlie Kirk's death in gruesome detail. The consequences of the shot. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you how it works in the law. In order to be found guilty, the prosecution bears the burden. The defense does not have to prove a thing. In fact, the defense doesn't even have to put on evidence. The defense does not have to put on a case at all. The defense, in fact, in every jurisdiction I've tried cases, not every tried case in, in every jurisdiction I've tried a case in, I think it's been 10 or 11, maybe 12 different states I've tried cases in, criminal cases. You have to move at the end of the prosecution's case in chief. You have to move after they close to dismiss the case, or not to dismiss, to rule in favor of the defendant in order to preserve your right to appeal. That's where I'm at. Those are the cases I've tried. That's what happens. And then the judge will establish, no, they've met the minimal burden in order to let the jury hear it. Would you like to go on the case? But at this point, we haven't even sworn in the jury. We haven't picked the jury. We haven't finished discovery. They're still sending stuff back and forth. Why? Why are we agreeing to uncontested facts that include that he was shot? Because keep in mind, in order for the prosecution to meet that very high burden, and the burden is very high, the highest burden in the law, reasonable doubt is the highest burden we have in the law. Meaning, no person on that jury can have any reasonable doubt whatsoever that the defendant is guilty. If there's any reasonable doubt at all, the jury either hangs or they're acquitted. That's it. Those are the only options. So why would Tyler Robinson's attorneys concede to one of the elements? One of the elements is that he was shot. Or that there was a wound, or there was some cause of death that Tyler Robinson caused. I don't know the murder statute precisely, and you talk, but I guarantee you it means that there's something in there where the defendant has to be responsible for the death of the victim. I promise you. Why on earth would you concede to the gunshot? No, I need you to prove there was a gunshot. I need you to prove there was a gunshot. I need you to prove that whatever happened where you think my client was, whatever tool, whatever weapon you think my client might have used in order to perpetuate the death of the victim, I need you to prove that that implement was used, and that is what caused the injuries, and that the injuries are consistent with that implementation you're alleging was used. All right, let me fast forward a little bit more. Again, I genuinely hope Tyler Robinson's lawyers are
Is
not
he
conceding
at
that.
full
If so, they need
speed?
to watch
He's still
this program.
at
They need to watch a lot of programs. There are a lot of people out there right now. not just
1.75.
people hosts. A lot of people are looking at this saying, "This doesn't look like gunshot. Like, why did it go through the back of his neck?" All right, now we got to get to no conflict of interest here, because Mr. Deputy Attorney has no conflict of interest. Let me read you this first paragraph here, but I'm going to raise an issue that I think must be answered in front of the judge. And if I'm Tyler Robinson's lawyers, I almost have to swear in this witness anyway, which is going to potentially disqualify at least that person. But I'll get to that in a second. Defendant also argues that because Mr. Deputy Attorney has a potential conflict of interest that requires disqualification, the personal conflict of interest must be imputed to the entire Utah County Attorney's Office because it took no steps to screen the Deputy Attorney from the case, and because he exercises supervisory authority over the office. All right, let me show you the basis that I would attack, because I think this is devastating. I put this on yesterday, and I didn't get a good answer from you. Fine, I almost said that. I didn't get a satisfactory answer. I got some good answer. This is the affidavit filed in this case by the 18-year-old. I want to scroll through, read a few lines, and then I'm going to ask you a question. Let's hold all questions until I get to...
hold all questions.
While under oath or affirmation, I swear to the truthfulness of the following facts. My name is blank. We all know her name, but I'm not going to say it. I'm 18 years old. Blank. The works at the Utah County Attorney's Office is my fault. I was present at Utah Valley University, where I am a student on September 10th, 2025, when Charlie Kirk was shot. Now, the only things that are permitted in affidavits...
He's not allowed to say was shot.
Does she have personal knowledge Charlie Kirk was shot?
No.
No. I would move to strike it. I would be good. If I'm Tyler Robinson's lawyer,
Strike.
I'm throwing a line in the sand very early on. And I'm saying, no, we're striking from the affidavit that Charlie Kirk was shot. I'm not allowing that. An affidavit is testimony. An affidavit is testimony, and a testimony has to be based on personal knowledge. She already admitted she doesn't have personal knowledge. She already admitted.
She said, I didn't
She
know.
doesn't have personal
I got a
knowledge.
text
She said,
message.
or they said
That's all
earlier,
she
She
said.
had to go inside and had it asked.
She didn't say, I heard it.
And it was inside when someone else told her she was shot.
I heard
That
it.
kind of hearsay in an affidavit.
I heard it.
So she doesn't have personal knowledge she was shot. That's not
Right.
what I hang up on. That's a side issue.
That's a side
I
issue.
attended a class before Charlie Kirk event and arrived at the courtyard where the event took place at approximately 11:15 a.m. That at approximately 11:15. That actually should have been right here. I attended a class before the trial and arrived at approximately 11:15 a.m. at the courtyard. Okay, you got to be precise. Legal language is precise. The event did not take place at 11:15. You arrived at 11:15, but that's neither here nor there. their English and the stuff in both the motion and the affidavit is terrible. Does not make a good impression. I watched the event from the far right side of the amphitheater. I marked my location with an X and Charlie Kirk's location with an XX on the image below. And I'll show you that.
What's the
She mentioned she
XX?
left her bag. She mentioned he threw out hats. While the second person in line was speaking with Charlie, I was looking around the crowd when I heard a loud sound like a pop. Someone yelled, "He's been shot." Everyone crouched down. After a few seconds, people started running. I ran to the doors to the northwest of where I was. I entered a building near the HF on the image. As I was in the building, I did not really know what happened. That's important to me. I heard someone had been shot. At 12:25, I texted the family group chat. Someone got shot. I'm okay, everyone's going inside. After I sent those messages, I spoke to someone in the building with me who told me that Charlie had been shot. I did text the family group chat, Charlie got shot. And she has screenshots of that below. And then she talks about walking behind a friend. I did not see Charlie get shot. So you don't have personal knowledge of shot.
But
The last time I saw him, before I looked away, before I
she's saying
I
he
did not
was
see him
shot.
carried away or see his room.
That needs to be proven.
This is interesting. But before and after the shot, as I looked around, I saw students and people who were there watched the debate. Most were students. Some were older. That's been a recurring theme. A lot of people know. There were a lot of older people there. I did not see anyone with a gun. I did not see anything that made me believe anyone I saw was involved in the shooting. And here is the image that she provides of where Charlie was with the double X and where she was. Now, why might you want to call her as a witness, ladies and gentlemen? I would put her on a witness list based on this alone. Why would you put her on a witness list?
Because she's right there. She could have
She's
seen
standing
the
right next
roof.
to the bush where the guy in the maroon shirt was standing in.
Mm-hmm.
She's standing right next to the bush that Bush Hibbs allegedly was talking to.
That was
She's
talking
standing right in front of the Center, which, by the way, this is not an accurate representation of this facility because those trees are not there. There are not that many trees there. There are 2 trees in front of the Sorensen building. This is the Sorensen building right here. There are 2 trees there. There's not 50 trees. This is not an accurate representation. But she is standing right next to the disputed bush. Why is there? Did you see a guy in a maroon shirt? Did you see anyone else in the bush? How many people were in the bush? Did you see anybody holding anything in front of them in the bush? Was anybody holding what looked like an iPad in front of the bush? In the bush? You know how many questions I would have for this witness now that I know we have one right next to the disputed bush? Put her on the witness list. Put her on the witness list. Tyler Robinson's lawyers, what the hell are you guys doing? Are you conceding he was shot? That is a contested fact. Are you conceding there's no weirdness going on in the bush? What about immediately after the shot? Do you remember how immediately after the shot people were directing from right there? I could go show you the live driving video. Adam Bartholomew captured him when he leaned over the rail and showed us from the top. There were 2 people on basically either side of that X.
I don't know what they're
One in
doing.
front of the bush that
They're
had
like
standing
not
there
even
on
trying.
immediately, and one just about where that X is standing in front of the light pole. In fact, I can't think of anyone at the event I might want to talk to more than this person. I would love to talk to this person. I might move
Oh,
immediately. If
why did I
it's
click
talk to this
that?
position right now.
I didn't mean to click that. I was thinking and listening and clicked
I think
it.
it's incredibly important.
My
to
finger
follow
went.
the context.
I didn't mean
If
to
they're
go.
going to be married to the fact that there was a gunshot, then make them eat it. Challenge it. Win on that issue. If they're going to suggest that this attorney does not need to be disqualified, this supervising attorney in the department doesn't need to be disqualified because his daughter wasn't in the line of sight with the Mercy Center, then turn and look what she was standing next to. Go watch the hours and hours and hours of podcasts of people looking at that bush. What the hell's going on in that bush?
There was something going on in that bush.
Do you need me to pull up the Life is Driving video and show you a guy standing in the bush?
Oh, now
Do you
he's
need
at
to
full
look at all
speed.
the images from Charles McClintock Wilson where there's a guy standing in the bush in a maroon shirt?
I've never heard a person say
Do
the
we need
word
to show
bush
you how
so
immediately
much.
after the event, there's a guy standing in the bush, hunched over what looks like it might be an iPad or something?
Yes.
In other words, the types of things you might use to control drones, and you might stand in the bush to knock down the sun so you can see because the bush provides a little cover, and you don't look so weird holding an iPad and controlling something in front of you. I don't know if that's what was going on in there, but you know who might?
That guy,
You know who might know if that's what was going on in there?
That
You know who
girl.
might make a damn good witness on this issue? You know who might make the best witness in America on this issue? Someone standing where that X is. Someone standing where that X is might be the witness that blows this case wide open if you're Tyler Robinson's defense team.
now I have to get to this like
And
double
I can't
one.
believe for the life of
I don't
me
even know where it is.
Tyler Robinson's defense
there it
team
is.
would get this filing and
Oh,
this
I lucked
affidavit
out.
and go, I guess we're cooked.
Huh.
No, fight back on the gunshot. We don't contest it. We don't concede there was a gunshot. What are you talking about throwing this in the uncontested facts? We don't contest that she's not a witness. She's standing right next to one of the most important spots in the entire facility. In fact, a tremendous part of our defense may end up being that very bush, and she might be the most important witness there. I hope they're watching. I hope they're checking out. I hope they're giving Tyler Robinson a zealous defense. That's all I hope. Now, here's my real question. That wasn't even my real question. None of that was my real question. all of that was just me telling you what I might do if I was a criminal defense lawyer representing Tyler Robinson and I was presented with this affidavit and that filing.
I'm gonna sit back down.
Here's the real problem.
Let's go.
Do you think an 18-year-old drafted that? Do you think an 18-year-old drafted this affidavit? Put together this diagram, thought to put together the text from that day? Do you think an 18-year-old said, aside from being scared at the time, I've not had any lasting trauma from the event? Hell, this reads like Tyler Robinson text to Lance Twiggs. Oh, I expected her to put my love in here.
You're so
I
good.
expected her to put my love. My name is blank. I'm 18 years old, my love. How are you? Are you doing okay? I might want to put her under oath to ask her who helped her put this together. Was it the Utah County prosecutors? In other words, are they representing one of the witnesses? You guys want another angle for disqualification? Are you actively representing one of the witnesses? That's a problem. If you guys are actively representing one of the witnesses, that becomes a real issue. That's something we've got to figure out. That's something we got to figure out. So, oh man, that took longer to get through than I thought. Actually, I want to play the text because I want to show you how 18-year-olds really text. And then I want you to contrast these texts. This is on the record text messages from people about the age of Lance Twiggs and Tyler Robinson. She is in the blue. Someone got shot. I'm okay. Everyone's going inside. Again, I'm not pointing this out to like grammar shame her. I'm pointing out that this is how 18-year-olds text and they have poor grammar. That's a comma splice. Right there. I'm okay, comma, everyone's going inside. That's a comma splice. It doesn't need to be there. What needs to be there? A period. And again, I'm only pointing this out to contrast Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs talking to each other, my love. Charlie got shot. Oh my gosh. People say he was shot in the neck and his head like tilted or something. Again, the word like. His head like tilted or something. I mean, you could almost see this like 18-year-old writing this, right? It sounds like an 18-year-old. What the heck? Insane. I'm guessing the what the heck was one of the other children in the family. Probably not the supervising county attorney father who was on this text thread. Insane. He had answered one question and was talking to the next person. Is he confirmed? Is it confirmed like, is he dead? Again, like. No proper punctuation. You've got two questions. One question mark. No conjunction. Did you hear a gunshot or what sounded like a gunshot? Look, that's Dad. That's the county attorney. Now you can see what an adult and law enforcement. Now you can see what an adult and law enforcement sounds like. Oh, complete sentences. Punctuation. Look, it even has the comma after her name. I'm not going to say her name, but we'll call her Sue. Sue, comma. Did you hear the gunshot or what sounded like a gunshot? What? Oh my heck. Now that is not Dad. Dad does not say what? Oh my heck. Was there any, what, blank was there, he said they found the shooter and put him in a cop car. Oh, so-and-so was there. He said they found the shooter and put him in a cop car. Again, no punctuation. Run-on sentence. No capitalization. Now that is how young people talk. This is her writing back. I for sure heard it. Everyone started screaming and running. A few people said they saw the shot hit his neck. Not sure.
I'm paying attention too much to that. He's really good. I like his information. Is his name still up so you can see it? Yeah. If you're not following him, you really should. He's awesome. What's under here? But see, that one's here, so I don't want to click that now because that's right here. We have to get rid of this junk. We can't get too impatient because I was thinking if we do these two, we can bang these two together, but they're not going to be. And I really should be working on a graphic instead of playing Mahjong, but tonight's kind of chill. I've been really tired today. It's a good tired. But I've been forcing myself, like, no naps. I'm pro nap, but I didn't do naps because I want to get up super early. So if I can get up, if I have to get up super early, I can't be taking a nap and then taking an hour on the end. Tain't gonna happen. Alright, so let's figure this out. We can throw this down and then bang these two out. But then that only got us one. So that wasn't a big jump for us. But we have this and we can bail with the summer if we have to. So then let's find out where this 3 is, because this 3 is like holding up so much. Alright, we're gonna go back to Baron. I just didn't want to be playing his stuff like straight through without me talking, and here I am just like looking at the screen. Just like looking at the screen. I just like looking at the screen. I thought I put my chat room somewhere. Did I? Oh, there it is. It's like, did I? What? Alright, so we put a brief thing, because if you're more interested in him, I would prefer you pop over that way. He really is good. He deserves everybody watching him. He's so smart, puts so much together. I don't trust many people, but I think I actually trust him when he talks. Alright, let's go.
I left my bag with all my stuff because I didn't have time. Shooter was on the roof. Who said Shooter was on the roof? Is this Dad? Is Dad now imputing facts into this? Doesn't surprise me. Weird thing is the guy asking the debate in the moment we're talking about shootings in the U.S. So that is the content. That is how 18-year-olds talk. They do not sound like whoever else. Making sure you're not thinking crazy. They don't sound like Humphrey Bogart. That's not what 18-year-olds sound. Okay. So that would be my question.
Alright, I'm going to do new games since I haven't been paying attention. Let's just reset this same puzzle.
That becomes a serious issue. You guys might have been disqualified just based on that alone. Who in the office? Was it only the dad, or were there other people there? Right, this next one's worth thinking about. This next story's pretty fun. Now, we got a little Satanism angle. We got wild-looking eyebrows. I want to pull something up here. Here. This guy's picture gets shared a lot. He's the most evil-looking SOB in the world. His name's Michael Aquino.
Oh yeah, he's freaky. He got them weird little eyebrows that go up.
Also, if you see here, he was
so
known for the
gross.
Temple of Sex. We'll talk about that in a second. His religion is theistic Satanism. He
So
also happens to
gross.
be a military man, so we'll get through this in a second. He's a military officer and Satanist, the founder and high priest of this Temple of Set, also a specialist in psychological warfare for military intelligence and an officer in the United States Army. We'll get back to him in just a second, because he wrote a book. He wrote a book called Mind War. Michael Aquino helped write this book called Mind War. Now, this is related to violent warfare, how to combat it. Not merely a military book, it's human, political, and social interaction generally, identifying and refining what were previously only vague or unknown mental processes into a new science of thought architecture. Mind war. It is talking about mind control. Mind war. From psyop to mind war is what it's talking about here. From psyop to mind war. Now, one of the people who allegedly helped him write this book was a guy named Paul Vallely. Paul Vallely was a U.S. Army Major General, former senior military analyst for Fox News. No surprise there. If Fox News would hire somebody who wrote a book called Mind War, talking about how to screw your mind up. Here it is right here. 1980, Valley co-authored the book Mind War with Michael Aquino. So that's the book we were just talking about. Now, Paul Vallely was part of the 7th PSYOP group in the 351st Civil Affairs Committee. Here's the 7th PSYOP group. It was organized in 1965. It is...
480.
Where did it go? What's up here? Within the psychological operations battalions, there are a number of tactical psychological operations companies. So they do tactical psyop development detachment. Focuses on product development, target audience analysis, product distribution, face-to-face engagement. This is what this Paul Malelli was specialized in. He also worked for the civil affairs units. The primary mission of civil affairs is to conduct civil military operations, responsible for executing 5 core civil affairs tasks: civil information management, core humanitarian assistance, foreign assistance, population resource control, support to civil administration. Again, these people deployed with psyop units, intelligence units. This is a psychological warfare operation. So you have Michael Aquino and Paul Malelli writing a book called Mind War about mind control. And where did Paul Malelli end up? Well, he ends up on the team at TPUSA. This is his bio on the TPUSA webpage. This is the team, tpusa.com/team. You get Paul Malelli. And it brags about all this. Talks about his combat experience. Talks about his 15 years experience in special operations, psychological, civil military operations. Talked about him being a military analyst on television and radio. In other words, he is furthering his mind war career. He is engaging in the mind war on us, and TPUSA looks around and goes, yeah, that's the kind of guy we want on our team. That's exactly who we want. That's him right there, Paul Malelli. This is the group
That's
of
so
advisors,
creepy.
the advisory council for turning.
Did Charlie even know who was around him?
That's the guy we want on our team, the psychological operation.
At all?
That's the
Did
guy
he
we
know?
Paul Malelli. Now, I'm looking at this, and I think to myself, I need to know more about this Michael Aquino. He's the guy with the weird eyebrows. Paul Malelli looks like he's kind of normal. In order to be Major General, you kind of got to fool people into thinking you're pretty sane. So I go looking for anything I can find on Michael Aquino, and I cannot show you this next slide because it will give up an address. But just trust me when I tell you. This is an address to a P.O. box in San Francisco, California. I find a P.O. box where Michael Aquino took his mail. And I thought, ooh, I'm onto something. I open up the P.O. box in Google, the P.O. box number, San Francisco, California. It's a 6-digit P.O. box. It ends 07. I'll just say that. P.O. box -- 07. I open that up and I get other people who took the mail at this P.O. box. Not just Michael Aquino, not just his wife Lilith, but other people. The guy from Woodbridge, Virginia, which is frankly right. And outside of Quantico, which is a little concerning. A guy named Robert Menschel. I'll get to him in just a second. He lives in New York. I wondered, what on earth does this guy do? So I'm digging this stuff up. I'm just digging away. And I find out the P.O. box is actually registered to the Temple of Set itself. This is a Satanist temple in San Francisco. A theistic Satanist temple. Meaning, this isn't Satanism in the 21st century way where people are like, I just don't like Christians, so I tell them I'm a Satanist and it drives them crazy. No, friends. That's not this. This is theistic Satanism, meaning I'm aware of God and I chose the bad side. I went with the other guy. Like, I'm aware of how the story ends and I'm choosing to be on the losing side. That's theistic Satanism.
This is what I'm making here.
But I looked up this Robert Menschel because Robert Menschel was one of the people mentioned as having a P.O. box here. I'm going to show you his obituary. I'm assuming it's the same Robert Menschel. I was able to tie it down, and I'm pretty confident I'm right on it.
All right. Let me see something. I'll pull this off of the screen for a second so I can peek at something. Because I think... we're at the raccoon thing, right? Hold on. Alright, there's nobody at the raccoon thing right now. There's a ceiling one. I think I'm going to put on let me go to my history, because Baba Jolie, she just did a Virgo history. Sometimes I feel like that webcam's so far, but then I stand up and it's too close. There she is.
This will be one of the most notable years of our lives. Already kick-started with a lot of action
There we go.
both positive and, of course, not so positive. But this year it has a revolutionary flavor.
Yeah, I don't want
Now,
to completely
this
take
one
all of
coming up,
Baron's.
Okay, this year is kind of like a reset button on so many levels. And we
Not
have
that anybody's
officially
gonna
entered a number
prefer to
one
watch
year
it in that
vibration.
little tiny window,
Desire
but
for personal happiness,
I can
independence,
go back in a little
prosperity,
bit.
adventure, and of course spontaneity echo through the very core of your soul this year with a notable intention to strike out differently. So many incredible opportunities will be made available to you, and you'll experience so many firsts this year as well. And of course, Venus and Mars in the sign of Capricorn sets the year off to a fantastic start, an invitation to take deliberate action, reignite that spark, set your soul ablaze with passion, and by taking a first step, cultivating perseverance, you follow your heart, hit your personal targets, and aspire to the finer things in life. Now, this new chapter actually embraces the new version of you. But this year, it really does hit different. This is your comeback era.
This is going to be my
Taking back your life
transition
and
screen.
reclaiming your power, your sovereignty, and of course, grounded in a number one vibration. You do not seek this year. You attract. A magnetic force to be reckoned with.
I
You
don't
feel in your
seek
soul
this
something big
year.
is happening, and this is
I
when you
attract.
rise and dial up the success levels on all that you've been dedicated to. Now, Jupiter's retrograde plays a very significant
Now, what I
role
wanna
at the beginning
do-
of 2026, encouraging you to revisit anything in
Is there spaces in this one?
Double down on anything in motion already, and of course, even contemplate.
But what if I did it with
daring
this
new.
font?
Jupiter wants you basically to benefit from all of your hard work, and it is keeping score. But major rewards cannot be fully realized, of course, until it moves direct in March. That's when Jupiter increases the auspicious outcomes for the collective and for you personally and the rest of the year ahead. Now, a perfect year to meet your soulmate if you're hoping to find the one, as it were. Remember, you are the one, so you're in a state of attraction right now. And even if you want to rekindle that spark in your current relationship, the stars align to reignite that flame. Now, astrologically, we've been teetering on the precipice of change for some time, especially on a global scale. And I almost do not want to delve into the 2026 energy for the year globally, of course, because it will be a chaotic road ahead. We can already see that, especially during February to April, and of course, eclipse seasons. Now, heavyweight planets like Pluto lock fully into Aquarius until 2043. Neptune locks into Aries until 2039, and Uranus returns to Gemini to lock in.
That wasn't what I thought it was. Here, let me move it over
That's a
to the
lot.
side.
This year's lineup should be taken very, very seriously. These planets, they tend to align during historical revolutions, tech innovations, as well as conflict. Now, Saturn and Neptune have been conjunct before, of course, but never recorded at 0 degrees Aries. So this is monumental. This conjunction has collapsed empires in the past, triggered civil wars. In fact, when we look back historically, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus, they tend to trigger uprisings like the Civil Rights Movement and, of course, the American Revolution. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to experience similar events, but it's always interesting to research what kind of revolutions took place during these type of alignments to indicate what we might have in store. Now, 0 degrees Aries, an emergence of something brewing. A new era is birthing something radically different from what we are used to. New leaderships, of course, power shifts, new currencies, new communication systems, and tech inventions that will advance humanity somehow. And of course, in order to build anew, one must abandon the old. 0 degrees Aries will keep us all guessing collectively which way humanity pivots. But Pluto in Aquarius, that will endeavor to give power back to the people. How we move forward collectively with that is totally up to us. Now, as with anything new, there might be glitches as we see switchovers to new systems, power grids overloaded with upgrades, may trigger more power outages, communication system errors, and internet disruptions than usual as systems try to adjust. We've already seen a lot of that happening even at the beginning of the year, and even last year there as well. Now, also, I see new regulations in the
I think we're going to go with this one. I'm just going to double check
countries in the name of sustainability.
to see if there's
Also,
anything.
the fire horse comes out to play from February, reinforcing that rebellious flavor. A wild horse cannot be cajoled into something it does not favor. It bucks trends and it retains independence. So on a personal level, these cosmic ingredients help you to remain curious,
adventurous, to challenge yourself, try new approaches that are radical, and also a chance to stand firm in your belief systems, as well as offering you an opportunity to reinvent or revamp your life in some way and lean into your inner rebel to rewild.
Let's go look at the two of those.
Personally, offering lots of good luck,
This one.
a chance to change your fortune.
This one. Oh, I like this one better.
Physical landscapes, but the earth itself.
I think we're gonna go with this one, but let me just double check.
Interesting that as we move into your birthday season, this card took a long time to get.
My birthday season. Oh,
that's
next year. She's doing a whole year reading.
Into
I was like,
your
whoa.
season there at the end of August, but as we move into your season, that card took a long time to come out, which means you're deeply in thought during this period about your legacy and taking breaks, and we'll get to that in a moment, but I just thought it was interesting that that's the card that took the longest to come out there. So you're doing a lot of cerebral.
Oh, this is probably going to be the one that does what I want it to do best.
But as I was saying, the Earth itself is also transforming, so we will see more heightened seismic activity in areas that are not prone to it. But the Ring of Fire will, as usual, elevate in seismic activity. In fact, even the other day, it lit up just after I mentioned it in a reading there. The whole of it lit up.
Huh.
And,
I like both of those.
From the Bay of Bengal right around to the South Pacific Ocean, triggering water activity after large Earth events. Notable hotspots will, of course, continue to be Turkey. I'm keeping my eye on that. Russia, Japan, and, of course, Indonesia, Taiwan, and I would say Chile. Mexico.
What do you think her accent is?
Active this year.
Her accent always
those areas, but we will see something
just a little bit off of American.
Of course, large volcanoes that have lain dormant for decades, even centuries, will become active again. And unfortunately, extreme weather events will only increase. I mean, I wish it wasn't so. I don't want any of these things to occur, of course, but I gotta tell you what I see. And we will also see unusually large storms, maybe even three together, that kind of become one massive one.
All right, let's see which one we like best.
Tornadoes, even
this
in
one.
unusual places, and even fire tornadoes will hit the headlines. I said this like about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and
That one.
yesterday I saw a massive headline there that a fire tornado had kind of.
What is a fire tornado?
So again, as I said, I don't want to see these things. I don't want them to happen, but when I'm tapping in to give you.
So I like that font best,
what could go on,
but it might not be the best for what I want to do with it. Let's just see what a fire tornado is.
Now, of course, economically, we will see challenges continue, but in order to come out the other side positively, we must go through. And Neptune and Pluto continue to gang up on public figures to expose those who are up to no good. Time to
wait, what
a bit of a cleanse in the system, shall we say, there, in order to purify this year, because it is a number one year. But ultimately, this year actually offers you personally a maverick shift to do something radically different, to plot twist if old ways are just not working for you anymore. The North Node is already
Has anybody ever seen any of
you
these?
have been tolerating that has caused you pain, sadness, or hardship. So with a smile in your heart, of course, this is the year to leave it in the dust as you gallop off to be free from it and take a walk on the wild side. 2026 is your year to just go for it. The universe has got your back to be successful in all you dedicate yourself to. And in this very act of doing, you reclaim yourself, your sovereignty, your power. 2026 will be the year to remember
all
that try to limit you.
So there's already fire. It doesn't like shoot from the sky.
And you're starting strong in January there. I mean, you maybe ease your way into the year at the beginning of January. I'm doing this reading on the 11th of January there for you. So you're kind of like nearly midway through January. But your first card is Fecundity, Rain. You're focused on your finances.
Poor babies, all the trees.
This month there,
all the babies who live in all the trees.
Financial strategy and structure there. But this is your predominant card for January, and you're all about growth, expansion this year. So this can be that you're making declarations to self, to declutter, detoxify, get your house in order in some way.
Get your house in order.
This is about expansion. It's about planting ideas or seeds that will grow.
I think I did a... Oh, that is. I did.
Like your friendship groups, your neighborhood, your money, your career opportunities, even like expanding your mind. So I feel like across the board, you're looking at everything this month on how you want to start something. This is you kind of promising.
That leaves me like not warm and fuzzy. So I think it's between.
You're really going to commit to them.
Nope, I'm not warm and fuzzy on that one either.
Start something, whether it's like you start joining.
I like this one, but it's not what I.
Sometimes we don't attend can be
You know what? We're gonna
making
go with
commitment
it.
to
It's a
attend
little bit
all
smaller than I
of
want
the
it,
activity, or
but
making a
heck,
commitment to
let's just go
complete
for it.
what you started already. Remember,
Heck.
in January, we're still in the year of the snake, okay? So that means you're still closing out some cycles there, and things really kick off when February comes around there. But Fecundity Reign is basically about, nurturing your finances, getting back on top of things, and protecting your inner peace. And for some of you, not all of you, some of you could actually be pregnant at this time, so it can be that you're nourishing baby on board, or twins, or however many children that you're having there. Congratulations if that is you, okay? I definitely see here that it will transform your life, and you may be making some adjustments during this month.
Maybe I want a box in there. Do we want a
Maybe,
box?
as it were. But of course, not everybody is.
How about a bracket? Do we want a bracket?
There in the energy, but it's number 35.
Let's see
when
something.
you reduce this number, 3 plus 5 is 8. You're making a declaration to self. 8 is the number of the self. So I feel like this year, the conditions of greater prosperity will be met for you, and know that all will be well. This is a big month to cleanse yourself of old, outdated views. But on a practical level, this could be that, of course, you are erecting healthier boundaries there. You're promising yourself not to slip back into old cycles. A lot of you could be detoxifying, cutting something out at this time, and really making sure that you're not tempted to fall back into some sort of cycle of repeat. Now, of course, this is an energy of you having everything you need to grow and expand in areas that you want to focus on.
All right, so we could do
A
that.
lot of you are adopting
No, that just looks like
new
a
mindsets
character.
and focusing on new
Do I want a
experiences.
box?
You want something different, something bold, something daring. So you could be plot pointing things in your diary this year, things that you're really interested in or you're curious about.
What if we did a
Remember,
box?
seed is always like
It just
that
seems
first
like
thought.
so much if
But
I
it could
add a
be that
box.
You've always had a yearning
I can
to
add
do
a
something.
big box.
You're searching it, booking it. You're making it happen. No more sitting there
I can
and
add.
dreaming
Oh,
about
I can
doing it.
add
This is
a
period
box
of
like the.
action. And of
Okay,
course,
okay, we got
this
this.
card, Fecundity Reign, means you are brainstorming new ways to
All right.
compound wealth or
So let's
make
do
your
that.
finances grow. I
Let's
mean,
do another
a lot of
layer.
those of you, as I said here, a lot of you may be trying to make a little go a long way this
And we're
month.
gonna call
Either
it
some excess
box.
spending from the month before, or it can be that that you're just looking for new
There we
revenue
go.
opportunities. And,
You're like, but Kim, I didn't see anything. And I'm like, yeah, it's white duplicated on white.
Earlier in December, maybe you have to stretch out.
We're
some
gonna
of that
do
money
just
and
100
try and
here.
make it go as far as it can.
You see
before
those?
you get
Yeah.
replenishing your finances with
This
your
is
next
101.
paycheck, for
That says
example.
100.
And for some of you, if you come to this reading
And I'm
you're
gonna
currently
do
searching for a job, I feel like you renew your search there.
80.
But there's definitely something brewing there for you. I see a new money-making opportunity role here that feels very fresh and different. It feels like you get to migrate your skills
Okay.
into this role. Definitely in a sector
let's
that you're
do-
curious about, but there may be many new aspects about it. You may learn new systems or maybe new knowledge that will help you grow. There's a role on its way for you in January there. And I gotta say this so that you're prepared, okay? There may be some sort of blip before you start.
A
What I
blip.
mean by that, it can be that the start date changes or there is some
It's a blip.
kind of challenge in February there on starting.
So,
it doesn't
you know when you have
impact
those
the
nights
mood, but it could be
and you're
frustrating.
just like, oh,
Okay,
my
so
brain
something
is
that
spinning too
there is some
much.
confusion about
I
start
put her
date, or
voice
perhaps
on, like
there
I'll
is
put
a
her
schedule of start
on.
date, or perhaps they even ask you
And then on the next video, I'm like sound
It's gonna be
asleep.
something regarding the contract
And then I
that
wake
you
up
provide
to the next video. So it's like,
to
it's
the small print,
so
because
funny.
There's an energy here of being a little bit surprised. in
It's
February.
just such a pretty little
And I feel like
voice.
somehow connected to the January. So I would say if there's a certain job spec where they expect you to kind of like hit certain targets or do certain things in this role, there could be something hidden or something that they didn't list as an expectation. And of course, perhaps there needs to be a bit of, head-to-head.
I'm done with
contact.
jobs.
So, I don't see anything negative after that. I feel
You don't
like there's a
really
clearing of the air. That's what this card literally
Do
means.
well for.
Okay, but there could be some sort of misunderstanding regarding a start in a new role. Okay,
Wow.
so whether it is you were told by one person you start on next Monday, right? And then you get like an official letter or
Boop.
document that says we welcome you to the company
We're
and
gonna
we
do a
can't wait to have
box.
you on the 1st of February or something like that. And you're like, oh, which one is it? So clarify in the month
Clarify,
of February.
clarify.
Don't want any surprises.
In the month of
It will
what?
actually kind of nullify whatever this surprise is.
What did
Okay,
she
so
say?
this is coming out
On
there
what month?
on its way for you in January there.
January.
And I gotta say this so
All right.
that you're prepared, okay? There may be some sort of blip before you start. What I mean by that is brainstorming new ways to
Let's go back and listen to a few minutes because I think she's talking about January.
is basically about
And that's right now.
positively we must go through.
I'm gonna go back and hear what he started talking about those double people and they kind of freak me out. Yes. I'm putting my vest on as a blanket. I'm like sort of cold, not really cold, don't really feel like wearing a vest. I'll put a yawn at you. Alright, so we can do that like that. I should put something with content on top of that background layer. Content, 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 content. All right. That's my wrap it up alarm. It says wrap it up. So I guess we're going to be wrapping this up. Let's just put this, let's save this before we wrap things up. It says wrap it up. That's not the blog. Oh, streaming. Live streaming images. Some of them have to go. They're old ones. And we're going to make this as scene switcher. Scene switch. There we go. Boom. Boom. Now, this is where we're going to get a little fancy, but I have to make sure that it looks right before I fancify it. You can't fancify it without making sure it looks right. Alright, so let's pull this down a little bit. And we probably want to make this a little bit bigger, but I don't want to make the Kimberly teat any bigger. So we're going to make that this big. They can't get taller. Can't get taller. Here we go. All right, we're gonna leave that like that. Let's just give a quick save. And then we're going to, all right, we're gonna duplicate this layer. And then we're gonna take that out of there. I just don't want to do edits and then have the edits. Like if I hate it, because it is, I'm tired and it's 8:30 at night and I'm a big baby. All right, so let's rasterize this type. Now, we take this and we go, then we click the box one, and then we click delete. Like, but Kim, nothing happened. We're gonna watch, and then we're gonna take this, and we're gonna click the eye. Oh, we're not back up at Kimberly. We're gonna click the eye, and then we're gonna go to the box, and we're gonna click delete. Let's do this again. Can we do this without making a mistake? Back up to the Kimberly, magic wand, click the box, click the delete, back up to the Kimberly, click the B, click the box, click the delete, back up to the Kimberly, click the E, click the box, click the delete, back up to the Kimberly, click the R, click the box, click the delete. Back up to the Kimberly, click the L, click the box, click the delete. Back up to the Kimberly, click the Y, click the box, click the delete. Okay. Now, we're going to get rid of Kimberly, and what you can't really see is that that's all here. Let me put another image back there. Let's open up an image. Open. We're going to go to backgrounds, and we'll go with the one that you see on the screen today. Is that in winter? No, that's in screen graphics, right? Live streaming graphics, backgrounds. Here we go. All right, this isn't the one I was talking about, but this is okay. So let's just grab this, and then we can pop it in here so you can see what I'm doing. So edit, paste. Now, as that moves across the graphic, these parts will be like blocked. I don't think I want it to be like that. I think I want part of it to be see-through. Alright. I think I want the edges. So let's get rid of this. Oh, dang it. Alright. So, okay. Let's take this layer, this white layer, and we're going to put this white layer up here. So this white layer is open. Then we're going to take the box that has the Kimberly cut out, and we're going to click this. Nope, that's the wrong box. What layer are we on? We're on this layer, and this layer's disappeared right now. So let's just do this as I'm going to call it border. Okay. So if we go to the box and we click in here, then we go to the border and we click delete, then we go into the border. Whoops. Nope. There we go. Doesn't matter. And then we click out the middle. All right, let's get rid of this for a second. Why aren't you clicking? Because it wants to screen grab. I get it. Boom. All right, so let's just take this out of here for a second just to make sure I didn't leave any white in there. So that is the border, and we're going to give that border just like 92% opacity. See, just a little, almost completely. Now we're going to add the box, and we're going to get rid of that border from the box. Okay. And we're going to come up here. All right. So now that border is going to stay 92%, but we're going to take where it says Kimberly, and we're going to take that opacity down a bit, right? So let's just pull it down to 77 just to give a number. And then that's a scene switcher. So it kind of shows the scene. And there we go. I'm kind of thinking I'd like to get the signature done that way too. What do you think? Can you see that fireplace? I guess not. All right, so let's keep that Kimberly. And let's make a copy so we don't lose it like we did last time. Duplicate layer. Yes. And then on the original Kimberly, we're going to rasterize that. And we're going to take, and we're going to, with our magic wand, go down to box. With our magic wand, oops. I captured too much. Let's make this a little bit bigger so I don't miss. All right, I just clicked. Didn't mean to click. All right, let's go back and listen to, okay. So we're gonna put this at playback speed 175. There we go.
I'm raising the possibility I might not be right, but this is obituary. So, the Dalton School mourns the passing of Robert Mitchell. Where have we heard the Dalton School before? You guys remember the Dalton School? It's been in the news here in the last couple of years. Mourns the passing of Robert Mitchell, father of David Warren. The Dalton School Board President, honorary trustee Robert, shared sage and thoughtful counsel with our school and provided inspired leadership. We extend our deepest sympathy to his entire family. The Dalton School was where Jeffrey Epstein got his start. So I'm immediately intrigued. We've got a theistic Satanist temple in San Francisco. We have a P.O. box registered to this theistic Satanist temple, and when I plug in the P.O. box's number in Google, it looks very much like this guy, Robert Mitchell, is taking his mail there, or at least has taken mail there before. Like it showed up on a website. I wish I could show you the slides, but it would dox these people. I don't want to do that. I know YouTube's weird. So I Google Robert Mitchell, and I find out he has a Wikipedia page. This is great. You guys are going to love this trailer right now. This is what happens when you have ADD and you have you just keep going there. You just gas. There's nobody to stop you. He was an investment banker, a philanthropist, had a 50-year relationship with Goldman Sachs, made a whole bunch of money when Goldman Sachs went public, right there $20 million back in the 90s, late 90s. But that wasn't even what interested me. What interested me is his nephew-in-law, meaning his brother's son-in-law, the guy named Bill Priestap. I look at this and I think, I know who Bill Priestap is. Bill Priestap is the guy who started Crossfire Hurricane against Donald Trump.
What?
Bill Priestap was the assistant director of the FBI Counterintelligence Division.
Whoa, what?
From 2015 to 2018. Here's where he was named the assistant director of the Counterintelligence Division. This was during the Trump campaign. Oh, hold on. I got you on the wrong tab. Hold please.
He said, hold please.
Here's where he was named the assistant director. This was 2015. This was 5 months into the Trump run. The first Trump administration run. FBI Director James Comey has named E.W. Bill Priestap as the assistant director of the Counterintelligence Division at FBI headquarters. Priestap most recently served as the deputy assistant director of the Intelligence Operations Branch. Then they go through his history, how he entered in 1998, how he worked in Chicago after 2001. So I get all this Bill Priestap stuff. And I think, how did that end up? Whatever happened to Bill Priestap? Because, again, it says he started the Crossfire Hurricane investigation. He was involved in the investigation into Donald Trump's former national security advisor, Michael Flynn. Well, that's putting it mildly. Priestap allegedly was the guy whose idea was to go record Michael Flynn and get him kicked out of Donald Trump's first administration. That was Bill Priestap. He also was the guy. This is a really slick dude. This is a really slick dude. He goes through the whole Crossfire Hurricane thing right here. He notably decided to open Crossfire Hurricane into Trump's collusion, Russian collusion. He ensured that an FBI informant would meet with George Papadopoulos during the 2016 campaign. That kicked off the reason to give the warrants and to start spying on the campaign. Oops. Papadopoulos met with a London club, U.S. citizen, and FBI informer Stephen Halpert. And a female posting as a research assistant. You got to bring in the honey class, right? The research assistant turned out to be an FBI investigator. Hey, gentlemen, hey, look at me. She ain't into you. She ain't into you. She's not. Stay away from her. I'm just warning you guys. I'm trying to keep it on the up and up here. I'm trying to let you guys know that she ain't into you. She has a pseudonym, Ozra Turk. That should have been your first indication, George.
There we go.
He believed she was CIA, Turkish intel, yada yada.
So what if we took this?
Oh, please. Oh, here it is. British intelligence was informed of the FBI fire case on.
I didn't like it being.
But that's how we got the British involved in spying on us, and the Australians. You'll notice this here. So we're getting all our Five Eyes people in here to do the dirty work we're not allowed to do. This Bill Priestap's a bad dude. He's a bad dude. Well, you would think a guy with that horrific of a reputation would have been shamed when he left office. You would think a guy like that would be out on the street right now begging, because surely nobody would trust a guy like that, right? Oh, no, friends. Here he is working at Strider Intelligence Technologies, leading authorities. He's a speaker there. He's at a company called Raven. He's speaking at this conference here. Going on here, he's appearing on PBS, appearing on C-SPAN. I mean, this dude is everywhere. National Defense Industrial Association speaker. Like, you can't get more embedded into rich society than paying gigs for this guy. In other words, you guys want to know my thoughts on who runs all this stuff? Do you think it's a coincidence that one of the guys who authored a book with a leader of a satanic cult worked at TPUSA? I mean, this is the United States government. This is world government in general.
All right, so
This is who runs the operation.
it's just going to shoot across the
This
screen.
is a satanic operation. A 100% satanic operation. Oh, I had one more, but I'm not going to pull it up. Because it has his, Robert Mitchell, it has his Fifth Avenue apartment.
All right, that
his
matches
California
my
address,
website.
His P.O. Box in San Francisco, California, that's shared with the Satanic Temple. His East Hampton address. His Wayne Scott, New York address. I mean, the guy's obviously very well. Lives in all this place. So, this is Bill Priestap. Oh, one more thing about Bill Priestap. I forgot to put this in. This guy's everywhere. You want a guy that's willing to do all the dirty work?
Let's
How about this?
take the.
He was involved in the FBI's investigation of the
All right.
use of an email server.
Let's switch this
He
to
helped draft James
77,
Comey's statement that was a recommendation to not file charges against Hillary Clinton.
and let's do
So he steps
this.
down, and you would think he's in total shame. No. He's a fellow at
92.
Georgetown School of Foreign Service, an intel shop. Oh. I'll cover that tomorrow. Right there. I'll cover it tomorrow. I found another intelligence operation hiding out in the middle of the country. Right in plain daylight. And it's a place everybody's been trying to pin down. But here it is. So this is what you get. You get satanic guy writing book on mind control with a major general in the United States military who's involved in PSYOPs and civil affairs, which is PSYOPs.
So do we like?
The major general who's involved in PSYOPs goes to work at TPUSA. The other guy goes and founds a satanic temple. He ends up with a P.O. box for the satanic temple that has some rich guy from
I
Goldman
think
Sachs.
I'm going to leave
and
it
his mail
Kimberly,
there.
but
Or
I
you-
think
at least
we're
you
going to
can
make
address
it
shows up
like
on
a
searches.
gunmetal gray,
And then his brother,
even though that's
son-in-law,
not my stuff.
is now out there
Oh,
moving and
shoot.
shaking and grifting and setting up United States politics to take down Trump during the 2015 campaign. Get Hillary Clinton. Case dismissed. And then going on to lead a life, being a director here and a director there, making all that. This is who runs our country. You want to know who runs these deep state operations? Satanists. Satanists. You want to know who's advising TPUSA? Guys like that. Guys like that. So you want to know why I don't trust certain people? You want to know why I have trust issues when it comes to a place full of sexual deviants and liars? Guys like that. Guys like that. Guys like that. I wouldn't have a Paul Levy on my advisory council. If you write a book on mind control operations in the United States, not on my advisory council. If you pal around with Satanists, not on my advisory council. Sorry. Well, we'll get somebody else. I'm not letting you in our meetings. As soon as you tell me, oh yeah, I co-wrote a book on mind control operations with Satanists. How much does the advisory council pay? How often do we meet? Oh, I'm sorry, sir. You're not allowed to be on it. I do apologize. But this is what happens in my mind. I go down these things. I can hear my voice failing. We're an hour and a half into it, so I'm going to start getting into some of the super chats and give some reactions here. I did have actually one more story I want to go into, but I will save it for tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. I want to say this is a big one. Happy birthday, Mad World. She's one of the greatest moderators there ever was. Wait, is it the he? It's a he-she moderating team. I can't remember which one Mad World is. Mad World's been a phenomenal moderator from the very infancy of this operation. So happy birthday there. Thank you, Brandy. I see that Brandy's a member there. That's what that little Superman logo is. I don't know what that is actually. Some kind of S logo there. Thank you for your membership. I will try to do another quick member live again. It's just extra. I give you guys 12 hours a week for free, minimal. Oftentimes more than that. You don't pay time for it. You just show up, you just watch, have a good time with the rest of us. But you know, there were people asking for a little extra interaction, and we're willing to pay the $10. I did get an answer on why some people pay $9.99, some people pay $12.99. I think that has to do with the Apple App Store. I think people buying through certain programs, those programs are putting a fee on top of it. So I don't know how they got from under that. I'm not sure about that, but I don't. You know, there may be other countries that have some sort of back tax or something. I don't know. But that kind of explains that. But we had a good time. We had a good time. 3 questions. Eric Kirk said, I forgive him. Tyler Robson never been killed. Everyone's innocent until proven guilty. How can a Christian forgive when not proven guilty? 2. Where did Mikey go after UVU? 3. Was the CK UVU event live stream? Those are 3 great questions. Number 1, I think she could forgive. I don't know that she used Tyler Robinson's name when she says I forgive him. I think we all assumed that's who she was talking about. But I didn't hear her say his name. So it's possible she was referring to someone else, or just being more generically, like whoever's responsible for my husband's death, I forgive him. That's possible. But I will go one step further and suggest that I don't trust anything that woman does. So I am
I don't trust her either.
Number 2.
There's something wrong
Where
with
did Mike
her.
go? We were told he went, made the phone calls, did it around a little bit, showed up at the hospital maybe 45 minutes or so later. I think it was the
All right.
9 one. That was pretty spectacular. 3 was the CK movie event live stream. We're told it was, but I've not seen one. I'm still waiting on audio from the Rode Go Wireless Pro 2 microphone that Charlie Kirk was fitted with. That was his the microphone.
All right, we're gonna leave it
That's the
here.
microphone up here. A Rode Go Wireless Pro 2 microphone.
Like
We
that.
should have a WAV file that survived the bang on that microphone. It's a very high quality microphone, so we should be able to have the audio. I would love to hear that if you guys have contacted TSUV.
Let's put another background in there.
Terrell Farnsworth, you've been very forthcoming with your video. You've been very forthcoming with your highly selectively edited version of the Behind the Charlie Kirk head view that you showed Candace. We would love to hear the audio from the Rode Go Wireless Pro 2 mic. That will settle a lot of debate. And my crew there was gunshot. Please look up Grand Solar Minimums. Oh, you come to the right place. When it comes to stars and stuff, I get decently lost. I mean, I get so deep into that stuff. I'm well aware of Grand Solar Minimums. For about 200 years, always aligned with the cold, calculate yourself with glass. Next one is projected around 2030. Public needs to know because of this. If you could hurt, I agree. You want to know what kind of stuff I talk about with my wife? We went to eat, driving home. Actually, we went to Rosemary, driving home. And I looked at, I mean, this is honestly, like, can you imagine being married? Look at them in the eye. I said, honey, have you ever heard anything about your 536 AD? She's like, no. I was like, they alleged there was some kind of volcanic eruption. It put in like a decade-long freeze. Maybe a third or more of humanity died. It kicked off one of the plague events. Crops failed globally. They couldn't get sunlight through the atmosphere. It rained, molded, mildewed. It was a miserable, horrible existence. It's roundly considered the worst year ever on Earth for humanity. 536, 537 AD. And I'm surprised you didn't look at me and say, get out of the car. That's why I've had enough of this. I'm taking the car. I'm going home. You can walk. But she did not. She did not. She was kind. She was very kind. Hey, I know that guy. I know him.
Wait,
Yes. You could probably guess the.
what if we get rid of this?
Gifting membership option. I did not, but I'm told they're random anyway. That you just randomly get gifted a thing. But I gotta look into how to do that. Somebody emailed me about that, and there may be some setting I have to fix, and I haven't had a chance to look. I just got the email like 30 minutes before I went on here. The memberships are fun. Oh, somebody gifted one. So apparently it's enabled, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently it's enabled. You're on while the Niners playoffs. James is on. I'm watching you. Said, oh, you watch sports ball? No, I'm just kidding. I watched the Hoosiers dominate Oregon the other night. If somebody wants to watch the Niners, put it on mute. You don't need to hear me announce saying. I watch most sports on mute. I hear I come by honestly. Let's see here. You switch your eyes near your head, just right foot shit. Looks like you could be Ben Shapiro wearing a CIA jacket. Interesting. No, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it because I heard his voice. If you go listen to like minute, I don't know, it's around minute 20 or so, maybe just before minute 20 of the Life is Driving video, Adam Bartholomew's video of the UVU event, you can hear Butch Hibbs talking. And you know what it doesn't sound like? Ben Shapiro. No, it sounds like a normal person having a conversation. The best description. I should say this. The best description I ever heard of Ben Shapiro's voice. I'm stealing this. This was from, who said this? I think Mark said it. Only his podcast. He said Ben Shapiro's voice is anti-Semitic. He said if you cast a character, and you knew the character in the movie was Jewish, and you gave it Ben Shapiro's voice, people would accuse you of anti-Semitic. I heard that, I thought that is brilliant. Like, I can't come up with something better than that. I just want to thank you for providing such great content and the usage of Google Days. For Super Chad, I totally enjoyed your unboxing video. God bless you and your lovely family. Oh, yeah. I did. I unboxed the Intro to Logic book. That was on the members page. Yeah, I unboxed the Intro to Logic. Again, I started reading through this. Well, when it's quiet around here. As quiet as it can get with a children. Thank you for that generous donation. Thank you for you said gifting memberships. That's great. Very kind.
I'm at a loss.
You should let Joe repent. Her repentance can be reading the group and passage from the Logic book. Joe, the ball's in your court. The ball's in your court, Joe. What are you waiting on? Anyone out there know if there were security? Yeah, just these. Oh, I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know if there were security plans in place. Great question. I do know there were not flight plans. That's
All right, I think I'm just going to give up because I'm
Brian,
tired.
If you want to submit to me evidence that there were flight plans, I will correct that on the record. Because all I can go by is your people telling me.
And I will leave that there.
And right now I believe it. And so if you email me, get in touch with me, realvarypodcast@gmail.com. You can email me and I will be more than happy to correct the record. Absolutely. I'm not trying to taunt you.
I'm just going to play some games. Just for a little bit.
Bless your Vatican City blue hoodie. No, that would be dope. Is that Vatican blue? Oh, I can see the finger of God reaching out to touch you. Well, thank you, Gary. That's kind. Gary, that's a good Gary right there. That's a good Gary. That's not like the Gary we played earlier. Actually, I shouldn't bang on Gary. I'm willing to give Gary another chance after the Charlie Kirk stuff goes on. I really genuinely am. I don't know why he's covered the story the way he has, but I'm willing to, once this story blows over, extend the old olive branch and see what happens. Hey, Baron, love the show. I'm training at seminary to become a Catholic priest. Can you please pray for me? Also, any advice for young seminarians in his 20s? God bless. Always fight for the truth. You know what, to me, makes a good priest? I had this conversation, actually, I was on, should I show you the link? I was on a podcast, a friend of mine's podcast channel. Let me pull it up here. I'll show it to you. I think I gave this advice on it. If not, I should have. Let's see here. It was on my podcast.
He's like, He said that he had a bird when he was younger, and the bird used to do his laugh.
Oh, here.
That's
so
hilarious.
This is from May of this year. You'll see I have much shorter hair. Not nearly as handsome as I am today. Oh. This is on Stephen Reiner podcast. Ex-Protestant explains why he became Catholic. Good guy. Very good friend of mine. Go to the gym with him. Well, used to every day. Then changed out now. Hard to see. But I gave the advice I think this guy's looking for. Because if you ask a Protestant, like, what makes a good preacher? Almost always, they're going to say, sermons. Like, I want a preacher who can show the Lord. I want a guy who can get up there and hammer for 45 minutes. If you ask, notice I wasn't including most of you there. Didn't even know I owned shirts that weren't hoodies. That's R-E-I-N-E-R.
His giggles so funny.
R-E-I-N-E-R, Stephen Myers. He also knows it's
It's infectious.
I mean, good, gracious. But if you ask the Protestant, they'll say, what makes a great pastor is the ability to really get in there and drive home the message during the sermon. If you ask a Catholic that, that's not usually the answer you get back. I mean, a good homilist is nice, but it's only like 8 minutes of your day once a week. What I think a good Catholic priest is someone who cares, genuinely, deeply cares. Deeply cares. That's the difference to me between good priests and bad priests. Deeply cares about the community, deeply cares about the parish life, deeply cares
That
about
might be a big
what's
mistake
going
what
on
I
in their
just
lives,
did.
deeply cares about the pastorate, deeply cares about the priesthood, deeply cares about the church, but it's got to be a care. The moment you stop caring, your people know. Your people know, and it becomes very obvious. Thanks for the donation. I really do appreciate it. And good luck to you, sir. I've been your extensive research of humor in this enthusiastic audience.
See,
Makes the show.
it was a big
Waiting
mistake.
for a global spiritual awakening from your occasional yen donor. Yeah, you'll need a global awakening over there, because if we have an American awakening, you're going to be left in the dust. You need a global awakening over in Japan. I'm waiting for it too. I'm waiting for it too. I am skeptical. I'm skeptical that it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better, but I'm hopeful. Received 3 of Erica Kirk's high school yearbooks. Don't know if there'll be any information on them. You need, just an FYI, keep up the good work. If you want to, you can send me photographs. Definitely wasn't the juice. Is that OJ? OJ didn't do it. I'm telling you, OJ did it. I think his son did it. My opinion. I think OJ was willing to take the fall for his son Jason, but we'll cover that in another show. If you want to send me every page that has Erica Kirk in it, I don't really care about the rest of it, but if you want to send me, like, take pictures and send it, realmarypodcast@gmail.com, I'll be happy with it. Any good names for the members? Someone suggested IQ Central. Ooh. Or the CIQ. Let me see. I don't have any. I'll let you guys know. I don't want to control it. Thank you. Fine. Hey, man, recent viewer, first time commenter, I believe Charlie might have been on the autism spectrum. This might explain why you didn't recognize the hypocrisy of those people around him. I'm very intrigued, and I would love to ask Candace what she meant when she said he went to an X-Man school. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. But she said he went to an X-Man school and was assigned like a Jewish guru who interpreted his dreams. Or maybe I heard it. Maybe I'm jumbling facts, but I'd love to explore that some more. That I need to know more about. The only second podcast I paid for membership because I'm broke. And the other is Savvy Saps. I love Savvy Saps. What a great personality. Personality makes podcast. Also, you don't need to tell her. Mrs. Coleman could hold up $15. She could. You don't know how our marriage works. Hey, let me get in here and hold up cue cards for you. Oh, okay, sure. Go get right on that. No, we got 8 kids. She does stuff. And they were at church when I came on here. They went to the evening mass tonight, so I something back home. You flailing around makes the show. We wouldn't have any other way. Your personality, the way you present info is what draws us in. Well, thank you. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Got some new members to welcome in. Thank you. You did it. You got Joe's book. Yes, I did. That is awesome. Always make me laugh when I needed the most for that. Thank you. Hey, thank you for your kindness, your generosity. Your
Where is this one? This is a big mistake.
Like you. Calling Archangel Michael to protect you. I could use it. Like, you know who was a fan of Archangel Michael was Stoner. He was a fan. IQ Max. Thank you. I said you had the IQ Max. Huddle Potter. Never like to make you and your family some mugs. If you have any left answers in your fan. If any kiddos have a color bust, please let me know. Thank you for your work. Kerry Collins, not the quarterback Kerry Collins. I have a left-hander. One. He is, I don't know if I want to give his exact age. He's 11. Wife and I are right-handers. Older kids are right-handers. I think the younger kids are right-handers. I haven't really figured out the 5-year-old yet. You know, you can't tell when they learn how to throw something. Because everybody looks like they're neither handed until they learn how to throw something. Then you can kind of like figure out, oh, okay. Yes. I heard this, I'm not sure. I saw this on Project Constitution. I didn't see documentation. That's the problem. And I don't want to necessarily read it out loud. But that's the problem is anyone can say that. I need to see paperwork. And I like Project Constitution a lot. I really like Project Constitution. But I need to see paperwork. Broke up onto that offer. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm just on the wrong mic. This is my computer. It was the laptop mic was still on. Because I was going through my checklist because I was running behind. No, I'm losing my voice. I'm really worried about tomorrow. I'm going to try my best not to say a word between now and when I go on here tomorrow. Totally agree. Love the show. Thank you. You're very kind. The new National Stadium will only have self-checkouts for food vendors. You know how many times I've been in the Titan Stadium in my life? Once this year to see the Colts, and once back in like 1999 or 2000. No, 2001 to see University of Tennessee play Wyoming. I think it was. I had to go back and look at that game and see exactly what year that was. Only 2 times I've been in the stadium. Don't fall lumber, let it flow. What are we talking about? I don't remember. I don't remember.
Look where this one is.
I didn't remember the name.
Holy smokes, how am I going to get to that one?
18, or Baron's High IQ Inquirers. Baron's non-a denser chat. Don't share. Oh, no-jos and no-bos. I like that one a lot. Man, Dan Bongino come off the rails. I had no idea. What had happened to that guy. It's got to be not, right? It's got to be not. Hey, Dan, we're not going to arrest anybody here at the FBI, so why don't you go back into the podcast world and start banging on everybody who disagrees with you? Like, anybody who asks for accountability on the Trump administration, just crush them. Just smoke them. I mean, just let them have help.
That's what I think is going on, too.
I'm not.
He's made me so sad. I had really decent faith.
The dude that filmed the Charger guy, no 911, love you, Michelle. So I thought of this, that there was a state double. Again, I'm not married to it, I'm not sure I'm even 50% of the way there, but I have definitely entertained the idea that this was some sort of staged encounter, and Charlie Kirk was in on it, and I've been assured by people who knew Charlie Kirk that that would never happen in a million years, and that there was no way that's true, and I should give up that thought, and I'm equal free to thinking it. I mean, make a little exaggeration there, but not much. So I don't know, but it would explain to me a lot of the, It would explain to me a lot of the weirdness surrounding
Inconsistencies.
immediately surrounding his death. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
like nobody
It would explain
cares.
a lot of that because
How does
you
nobody
have the
care?
security team run in place and is dragging him out of there like a rag doll. Why? Why are we dragging him out of there like a rag doll? He's got broken. I mean, supposedly a broken neck. But if half of the security team thought it was a stage for this, they might just pick him up and run off. It would make sense for them to do that. So I thought it. Welcome to the future. While the animation is Skynet, social credit enforcement brought to you by Palantir and. I know a lot of people have got fantastically wealthy riding in Palantir trains. I'm not a motor. I don't invest in companies I don't agree with. That's funny. I saw Eric Turk at Fort Hawk to it. Oh, that's great.
That is so
great.
mean.
Let me show you. This is my ugly favorite too. You are married to a brilliant man. I'm getting into digging for info. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Very kind of you. Very kind. I think I dressed at $12.99 versus $9.99. Somebody said don't share a message about it.
All right, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna be right back.
Green Beret with the eye contact that was told not to investigate. He also had preparedness org that was falsely designated DT. Factory code. I'll talk to anyone. I don't know if I'm on the show, but I'll talk to anyone. Oh, I am gonna have Jason Goodman. We're gonna have a show, at least a second, where we will break news about John Thorpe. I don't want to spoil the whole show.
All right, I'm gonna do a new game.
I am not such a tease. I'm not such a tease. I give you guys everything. I don't hold back. I might hold it a day and think about it, but then sometimes I get my better judgment. I do it. Charlie used to tell me too, we should be able to find out what preparations were made, if any, past 9/10 of the work. Yeah, I think the ball is now in the court of TPUSA and Brian Harple's security group to prove preparations beyond September 10th. I think there is now a good faith basis to start demanding answers on the issue. We had inside information from a church group in Colorado that there was no security preparation done until the day after UVU. We now have information out of TPUSA and Brian Harple's group that they don't believe there were plane reservations made for the security personnel beyond UVU. Guys, there was an event the next day. There was an event a week later. There was an event a week and a day later. There was an event a week and 4 days later. So I think the burden is shifted into their court to say, just like Brian Harple provided flight reservations, provide your flight reservations. Show us you had flights. I'm curious. First time to take a check in Memphis. Interacting with a robot is actually preferred. In Memphis, interacting with a robot is preferred. Someone got killed in the Wendy's near my house a year ago. No, Tennessee people are so much nicer and less murderous. That's true. My neighbor's from Memphis. He would take a... I didn't think that. He's always spoken highly of me. Look, every state has an armpit. Every state has an armpit. Your body would not exist without your armpit. There's important things going on there. It's just kind of gross to think about. You notice I could have made a worse analogy. I could have said every state has something else, some other area. And important things go on there too. But you gotta have them. I didn't go there. I didn't do that to you, Memphis. Press King, indeed. Thanks for saying like this and like that to the curse words. No problem, I try to keep it clean. My kids watch the show. My mom watches the show. From the heart, the mouth speaks. Also amazing you can read comments while doing your opening speech. What? I'm a man of intent. I think I got 8 kids. Oh gosh. I'm gonna get in trouble for that one. No, but you're not watching. Goodness gracious. Kelly Bodilla, are you related to Bobby? We're picking up what you put down. Baron, great work as always. Thank you. Cliz Bear. Justin Harrell. We love you in your auxiliary personality. Love that. Oh, Brian, where'd you go? Hope you received my email where I sent you a tip about the drone energy wave laser from Erica's mom's business. No one's talking about it. Thank you. I think I got that. I think I read it today. I read a lot of emails today. I got a little behind, admittedly. I got my opening done very early today. Came home from church, immediately started writing. Took about 2.5 hours. It wasn't particularly long, and it was only like 16, 1700 words. It wasn't the longest opening I've ever written. It allowed me to get caught up on some meetings. I hope you weren't offended by the brevity. Baron, I'm on the new show. I'm interviewing the Accurate Energy Solutions employee. I think it was Accurate Energy Systems. Might be Solutions. You're going to help pre-interview AEW multiple times. I need to connect ASAP. Thanks. I tried to find that. Are you emailing realbaronpodcast@gmail.com? Because if anyone emails any other email address, I don't know. If you don't email realbaronpodcast@gmail.com, I do not open them. And I have searched Accurate Energetic Systems, I've searched Accurate, I've searched AES, and I've not found an email from you. So please email that email address only. If you guys are sending me Facebook messages, I'm not reading them. If you're sending them to my personal email address that you found online somewhere, or my business email address you found online somewhere, I'm not reading them. I'm trying to force everyone to go to Real Baron Podcast if you want to reach. That way, I have a centralized location, because that's the only email address where everybody can help me. How many monitors do I have there in my studio? You guys want to see? Oh, thank you. So let's get to it. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, and there's 5 down there. I got a lot. Oh gosh, I'll never get this thing right.
I only have 3.
I got 5. The one in the corner is my make sure I stay up. That's the one. You guys see me look over there every now and then and hit the button. That just makes sure we're still on here. We only have 7,600 likes and 20,000 live viewers, which means 2 in 3 of you have not hit the like button. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. You're trying to kill the show. Hit the like button, subscribe to the broadcast, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends. But yeah, I got 5. That's your 2. That's all you get. If you were his attorney, would you tell him to lay low and not make all these media appearances? Why are these people opening themselves up to public scrutiny? Is it all theater? You talking about Ryan Harple? If I was Ryan Harple's attorney, I would tell him to dig a hole and stay here. Like, I'm not wishing him any harm. I want nothing but good success for him, health-wise. But I would encourage him to not go out and go. Don't risk it. Not worth it at all. I'm here hiding in the bushes, just kidding when I say hi to my sport. Well, hey, sea dogs. I was at the Center for Disease Control. Hey, Ed. Spent the last couple days running hours of Erica Kirk interviews and seeking a morsel of something. I know she's dramatic, but like Rob McCoy, she's a different person. What happened to these people in the last 5 years? Money or something more sinister? I might go into this on a member show because I don't know how deep you guys want me to go into the spiritual realm on this show. But I'm a really big believer in the demonic realm. I'm glad to see Tucker the last couple of years really dig into the demonic. Because I think it's real, and I think it's very scary. And it's most scary with people who don't believe in it because they're the most apt to fall headfirst into it. And I think that's what happened. I hate to say that because that's me saying Charlie Kirk's wife, his grieving widow, is demonically influenced. But I believe it. And I believe that with Robert Woodwell. And I believe that with a lot of the people that are advising them. I'm not going to sit here and name them. I believe it's with a lot of people that work there. A lot of the names you hear trafficked a lot in this discussion, I think, are deeply influenced by the demonic, and it's terrifying to me. Because these people now have influence over the nation's youth. Tennessee is has some bill going where they're going to require the high schools to have these chapters. I want these sexual deviants creating materials for my kids. Are you out of your mind? Maybe if Charlie was still alive. But I don't want his evil-eyed wife and Tyler Boyer and Andrew Colbert coming up with material for my kids at the local high school. I have a high school like in Nine or anything. I don't want that over there. Yeah, Dan Flood was head of security at TVUSA. Ryan Harple was head of security at for the contractor. So yeah, we're both right. It says older Ted doesn't have the electric bolt. No, it does not have the electric bolt. I don't think it's the one that was exploded under. Notice the chat last night, someone said, roll that beautiful Baron footage. Oh, I like that. I don't know about beautiful, but I wouldn't kick you out of bed for scratch. Get token, brother. Well, hey, I don't know what you look like, brother. I'm not getting in bed with you, sir. I got bad news. I got really, really bad news. Mrs. Coleman was not good. Where's the lightning bolt go? Yeah, that's been done. Yeah, not saying 10, got you. Yeah, but it is a 10. And it is supposed to simulate the 10. Monsters. Yep. Car wreck analogy. That's exactly right. If Charlie Kirk had died from a head-on collision with a DUI, would they have the car in there? No. So why do we have the 10? I agree with you. This is a high IQ outfit. And you guys certainly have a high enough IQ to hit the like button. Need I go shame you some more? Oh, we had 1,000 likes since I shamed you. Let me shame you again. Hit it again. Hit it again. What are we waiting on? What are we waiting on? Amber, thank you. Very kind. I've been always, excuse me, sir, Andrew. Hold that. Is that what I was talking about? I don't remember what I was talking about at 6:38. What was I talking about at 6:38? Was that the first story? I don't know. I don't remember. Baron Bulls, Baron's Bloodhound, Baron's Blue Coats. Ooh, premium blue name suggestion. I'll let you guys come up with one. Maybe I'll put a poll up on the next live. I'll come up with 3 or 4 of the ones that you guys have suggested that I liked. Let you guys pick and then we'll name them. Or maybe we can name the levels, like how long you've been there. So funny, I'll use the order I put on the screen and you self-checkout. So I'm old school. My orders are always special order. My orders typically are not special order, but I don't eat bread. And I don't eat cheese. I used to eat cheese. I used to eat a lot of cheese. It doesn't agree with me. It makes my lungs messed up. I figured that out. And so I've given up cheese. It was a very difficult decision. But, you know, to go into a place that I don't want bun, I don't want cheese, and I do want the onions, I do want the pickles, I do want the tomato, I do want the lettuce, and, you know, I want to do all that. I want you to do that. I'm paying you. I'm paying you. I'm going to give you $14 for a burger and fries. I want you to... Here you go, Mr. Coleman. Some people say journalists or investigators connected to the JFK assassination later disappeared as there's solid evidence behind that claim. I've not heard. But I may have. I may have a guest on who literally wrote the book on what happened to JFK. So I talked to the people today, and I'd like to get that guy on. Because it's fascinating, and the parallels with Charlie Kirk are so overwhelming. People question how a gunshot could ring out at the same time as a mic explode. Could the handheld mic pick up the explosion and set up sound, possibly sounding like a gunshot? Am I crazy for thinking that? You're not crazy. But again, I think when we say exploding microphone, we may be saying 2 different things. You know, like the exploding pagers, we're like, It looked like a miniature nuclear bomb. When I'm saying exploding microphone, I'm talking about something that could cause some other process under the shirt, not necessarily like a massive explosion. Now we're ripping the shirt off the head. Let's see. Wow, $50. Thank you. The one you feed. Bang wrong. Springmeister. Exposed mad scientists, heavy biotechnology to prevent dark entities and the victims take over life.
Okay, we have to get through this.
Say the hell away from me, dark entity people. Also, who would have even given a pick of that? Yeah, exactly. Who's exactly right. You have the exact right reaction. We should all be so lewd. That's scary. You know, the scariest thing I saw was where they. I have to find it. I'll bring it back up. Maybe I'll bring it up next show. They had some virus delivery device.
You don't see this one? What happened?
Like you're standing in the Publix checkout line and somebody sprays a little nanoparticle on your shoulder, and it gets nanoparticles of viral debris in your body and kills you. That and a heart attack. These things scare me. Crime scene with. Yeah.
What did I do? How did I get that off of there?
Yeah. How could one even forensically establish a bullet for check? Well,
oh, like that.
With the trial not scheduled yet. There's one thing I keep thinking is at that December event. Why is it about talking poorly about people? I thought this was a Christian event. This is confusing. There's nothing Christian religion related. So it could have been a Christian religion. Then it was kicked off with Ben Shapiro. I mean, that's the opposite. Ben Shapiro, I don't even want to tell you what he said about your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I don't even want to tell you. It's bad. I don't know how any Christian listens to him. But they do. Because we have this thing where we just have to, I mean, is there anybody more self-effacing than modern American Christians? We just vote for these people that hate us. We listen to these people that hate us. We subscribe to their channels that hate us. We get Daily Wire Plus. They hate us. Like, why? Why? Like, I used to like Matt Walsh. He kind of got weird last few months, but I'm not going to give him money because I know Ben Shapiro gets money. I'm not giving him money. So, there's one thing I keep thinking is that section best. Keep hearing about how Israel has these interactive, immersive October 7th adventure experiences. Seems kind of like what TPUSA is doing with the tents. All part of the PSYOPs. Yeah, we deserve better PSYOPs, honestly. we honestly deserve better PSYOPs.
We deserve better PSYOPs.
I don't think that's her. I honestly think that's an ugly man. No, I should say ugly. They probably know audience. Probably remember. I apologize, sir. Won't happen again. Or it's a woman who's in the audience and she's like, great. Now I look like an ugly man. I don't think that. Ma'am. I don't think that. We talked about Erica Kirkman's like Kenneth Copeland or something. They both look like my sleep paralysis thing. I had sleep paralysis one time, Cashman. One time I had sleep paralysis. I woke up. I went to sit up or roll over, actually, I think I was trying to roll over. And I couldn't. And I was stuck. And I was very much awake. And it probably lasted 45 seconds to a minute, but it felt like it lasted a month. It was so terrible. I was thrashing, screaming. I could not get up. Please don't be still for a minute. Please don't. The guy working with Tulsi on Charlie's case said, quote, a plane named Hades flew overhead that day and released a lot of drones. He said Tyler had nothing to do with Charlie's assassination. He's from Ireland. The guy working with Tulsi said that? Who, Joe Kent? Did Joe Kent say that? No. You use quotes. I mean, is that an accurate quote? Can I go search that? A plane named Hades flew overhead that day?
Tulsi said that? I don't think Tulsi's spoken out about it.
If you have that quote, will you send it to me? RealBearPodcast@gmail.com. Put Hades quote in the subject line. Put Hades quote.
Let's look it up.
If I was out of the VA, I'd be subpoenaing Gary Meltdown and Gary Hughes, great social engineering management that entered a federal investigation. I don't think that would work, but I like you thinking outside the box. Ted marketing, you had a liking. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. This is obviously difficult. Defense uncontested single shooter verdict to that motion.
I don't know how to spell Hades.
No, but I think at some point, I don't know. If they could raise like an estoppel issue, like, hey, you allowed us to proceed this far and call these things uncontested facts, and now you're contesting them. But it's a criminal case. This isn't a civil case. So I don't think it marries them, but I would like to see them raise hell about it in a filing. We're not contesting it. We're not giving you any uncontested facts. We require you prove every fact beyond a reasonable doubt to jury. Period. That's zealous representation. If you're going to say a gunshot happened, I need to prove beyond a reasonable doubt there's a gunshot. I'm not consenting to that. We're not going to. Erica said she produced Tyler implying he did it. I don't know about
I like Tulsi. She's like super smart. She seems to be reputable.
Do women use words like Northwest in other direction-based vocabulary? That's all. I mean, Sacagawea helped Lewis and Clark. You don't think she knew which direction was Northwest? Yeah, they do. Now my mom doesn't. My mom thinks everything to the left is north, or everything to the right. I can't remember which. Like, doesn't matter which direction you're on. Like, which way is north? I'm like, no, that's south. Okay, so that way. No, that's west. No, that way. You guessed it. Yeah, well, that's easy. My mom has no idea what direction it is. But I don't think that's endemic to the double X chromosome. I think that's just something that happens. I'm virtually in a mason jar with bugs. Mason jar bugs with I'll allow it. Shout out to my wife Carol. Bugs Joe. Doesn't get better than drinking out of a mason jar. Especially with your voices.
Didn't want to click that one, but I did.
Put on witness stand and demonstrate to the jury the inconsistencies. Perjury. Dismiss trial with prosecution's drugs. To put Erica on the witness stand? You'd have difficulty putting her on the witness stand. I think you'd have difficulty. Well, this is all the time. Well, I can teach where you talk to Chillin. That's very kind of you. This is for Mad World. This is her birthday. Our chat wouldn't be half of what it is without her. She can't hear me sing happy birthday, but you know who she can hear. Our humble host. We will sing along. Happy birthday. I can't sing. Hey, this is a true story. I was singing at church. This would have been in the late 90s. I got all into it, man. Every now and then you get carried away at church. I'm singing along. And I noticed the guy next to me singing like this. Like I'm sitting here, he's here. He's plugging his ear. You don't hear this. But thank you, Whitney Murphy. Thank you, and yes, thank you to Manuel, a fantastic moderator. If his trial attorneys had been instructed to work with the transitory deadline, pushing for zero effort mistrial. I don't know what that last sentence means, but if his trial attorneys have been, if his defense attorneys are working against him, they need to be kicked out of the bar. Like that's, your attorney should give you zealous representation. I mean, that's the standard. You are entitled to zealous representation. If, right. I already read that. Has anyone attended the TQSA event where the tail was erected to look for any burn holes, or exploding burn holes? Maybe they keep it close to people to keep people in. I think it's different. I think that's the conclusion we're going from. The old disputed bush. Oh gosh, wiggle on Johnny 2 times luggage. I actually was, you know, the errand we were running, I'm looking for new chairs, so I don't have to do this much.
Alright, so now I have to do a new game
I
again.
don't do that as much. But I'll still wiggle too much because that's who I am.
Reset.
Why did you call Tyler Robinson's attorneys incompetence or thievery? Because I don't represent Tyler. And I'm covering the case, and I think that would be wholly inappropriate. They're welcome to call me, but I will disclose to you that I talk to them. I will never talk to one side or the other without telling people. That would be so wholly inappropriate. Violate every journalistic standard in the book. But if they call me and say, hey, where did you get this idea? Who did you talk to? Who was your source on this night? Who did you talk to? I'm convinced the defense is corrupt. Utah Mormons try to stick together and believe the same mission. Protect that group. That's a blanket statement, sir. I don't know if that's true. I was talking to a Utah Mormon on the phone the other day about this case. He is on our side. Garrett absolutely did write that. They just say himself as jeopardy for mistrial. Oh, that's the sheet. Yes. That's the problem. That's the problem with pronouns. My poor wife has to put up with me constantly. Stop. Oh, don't use pronouns. We're done. But did you do a Google search that made it seem as though Tyler Robinson's defense counsel had been searching Israel prior to the big thing? My assumption has been the Tyler Robinson defense team has been won. I did do that Google search. It was one of the very first, maybe the first 5 episodes or so. You can go back and watch it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's the episode where Adam Bartholomew from Life of Driving came on. And that was explosive because I was trying to be nice to him and he was like fighting me over. Hopefully that really, I don't want to make enemies with him. No reason. First time commenter, fellow IU love. Go IU. Yes. Your evidence is overwhelming. But I feel the attorneys are in on the plan.
I don't see what I'm missing
I will be present
on
if they
this
go to
one.
trial and we start getting news reports out of the courtroom. I doubt the judge.
But this is a chill stream, so I guess I don't care what I'm missing, right?
Like there are so many things they could put on, provided the judge doesn't block them. But we would know it. I did. Yeah, I'm getting a lot. I'm skipping some of these just for time, but you guys are asking a lot the same question over and over about this. Tyler Robinson needs you as his attorney. No, he can't afford it. You have become a house favorite, wishing you great success, as you stated, soul search thing. I would charge Tyler Robinson an exorbitant amount of money to involve that. Because it would require me giving up all other sources of income. He can't afford it. He's a court-appointed attorney. He's an inch. So unless somebody else wants to pony up, I cannot possibly afford it. I would be volunteering my time, shutting down the podcast, not working a full-time job anywhere else, because I'd be working full-time on that, and I would be starting that. So no, I cannot represent. Informative and well-presented content, but I'm willing to talk to his lawyers. Pause this time. I'm willing to talk to them. If they call me, I will talk to them. But I will tell you I talk to them. That's the rules. That's the rules I would live by. Informative and well-presented content, educated and often comedic commentary. Epic laugh, thank you for being something to look forward to. Well, thank you for the very, very kind words. Drug Bro, 20,000 viewers of the time content. You're killing it. Go back. Thank you, Shane, man. We're still 20,000. How many likes do you have? Allow me to see. We're up to 98. We added another 1,000 likes. The rest of you won't stop shit. The rest of you. No. You're welcome to watch and not like it. If you hate me, if you hate the show, you don't have to like it. If you hate me as a person, you don't have to like it. No, here's anyway. It's just the right thing to do. I get to like when I watch videos on YouTube. 1776 wasn't wearing headphones, leading to electric audio and running both PA and stream audio. Good point. Do we know we didn't have any of your monitors? Let's go back and watch that. I don't know that. When was that text combo? Right after it was scattered, so how would he already know there was a shoot on the roof? I had to go back and look for the timestamps. I think I just pulled up. I'll let you close that, but I can get back. Hopefully. I can get it pulled up quickly. State opposition motions, scroll down through text messages. Shooter on the roof. Where was that? 12:39. Is that right? So 16 minutes after he was shot, someone said shooter was on the roof. Was that public by then? That's a good catch. That's a good catch, Rose S. Was it public by then? Shall we ask Rob? Let's ask Rob. We'll ask Super Rob. Do you guys want to watch along with me while we ask Rob? Super Rob? Because I don't want to have to go searching around. So let's ask Super Rob. When was the first report that there was a shooter on the Pelosi Center roof for Tyler Robinson and Charlie Kirk? Supergrok takes a little time. Let's allow Supergrok to work. 12:23. When was the first report, bro? Oh, shortly after, footage captured the suspect running. Police investigated the roof shortly thereafter by 12:35. So that would have been 4 minutes ahead of time. So yes, the police were investigating 4 minutes before that text was sent. Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder how he knew. Gary's back for more. Maybe we should do a GoFundMe for Baron in the courthouse representing Tyler Robinson. This is BS, and the U.S. is indeed due if this leads to his conviction. Here's the problem with that. Other very highly trained death penalty lawyers have reached out and not been added to the team, and they've been offering to do it for free. So why would I be any different? Don't start a GoFundMe. Don't start a GoFundMe. How many licenses? Okay, don't get Provoc in. You get sponsored. I'd rather be here with you guys. Might as well pay zero attention. Okay, this kid won't be alive when the case starts. I've heard as much. I've heard as much. I think, again, different tent. I think we're in a different tent. Interesting how TVUSA had Nick Shirley come to New York to Charlie Kirk and go 910. They didn't want that honest journalist present at UV that day. I got my suspicions about Nick Shirley. I'm glad the story broke in Somalia, but I had my suspicions about Nick Shirley, which make it even more suspicious that he was there on September 10th. Right? These aren't suspicions I can confirm. These aren't like things I can really articulate. But I just connect some dots in my head, and I think, how did this? I don't know much of it. But I got my suspicions on that, which again make it even more suspicious that he was on Charlie Kirk's podcast that day. Woodbridge is overwhelmingly a city of early career bureaucrat grads, if that helps. It doesn't. Boise Tech guy. That's great. Your username cracked me up. Your usernames cracked me up. Thank you. That was great. I wasn't watching.
Nick Shirley, that kid. Yeah, he said he was on the podcast that day.
Young girl, I have a book here for you. It will help you. Yeah.
It has a black cover. I finally saw it. Yay! So I want to get that. So let's go there.
No, I see no date. I see time.
So on Amazon.
You both said that the sex only has time. Unbelievable without a date.
What's the day?
You're a great commenter. I can't believe you remember. Beth came to the apartment with the VA daughter, said she heard Charlie had been shot by a person in a crowd.
Is that this one?
But he's watching makeup with my grandmother.
It's like about discernment, right?
Did not see anyone in the crowd or else with a gun. I was looking around the crowd when I heard a loud sound. Heard that someone had shot from the person in the crowd. So that's what you heard it from the crowd. Crowd dropped to the ground. Crowd first dropped low. Dropped to the ground. So all 6 references to the word crowd do not suggest what you just said. So I don't know where you're pulling that from. In doing that, I lost my place. But look, yeah. So I need to. I would need to see your citation page alignment in order to verify what you said. TVUSA, a wolf in sheep's clothing. Yeah. This is interesting. Note 7th PSYOPs group loudspeaker ops on the general tape. Sent you an email letting Ben. It's their jam Ghost in the Machine. That is an interesting. Oh, that's an interesting. I would like to read more about that. Ooh, $100. Thank you, Adam. Like everybody in the party, shiny, like you was on. Yeah.
Was it Logic?
5 memberships. There are 5 of you who are now new members. Thank this person. Thanks, Dad. How would Charlie Kirk high IQ be so oblivious? I'm starting to believe he knew he was alive. I got Adam. He wasn't a plan himself at this point. Sorry, dudes. Unless Charlie Kirk was MK Ultra himself. I say it again, I really, genuinely want Candace to explain what X-Men school she was talking about. I want to know what they mean. Because these gifted programs, a lot of these, I wouldn't let my kids be part of them. Great work, great personal survey. Thank you. Very kind, very kind. Bongino's books on Spygate, especially Follow the Money. Can I call the dots? These people are connected to each other. It's insane. I've not read any Bongino book, nor would I. Day 8 of sobriety, the headache. I just had this conversation with somebody the other day. Like day 4 to 5, to me, was the worst. And then by day, 10 to 14, you start coming out of the fog. So stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Keep your blood sugar up. Do not let your blood sugar crash, Brady. That is when people get weak and go back. Keep that blood sugar high. Don't eat. So when I say blood sugar high, I don't mean keep it steady. I don't mean start your day with shredded wheat. That's going to crash and then you're going to feel bad on that. I mean start it with hamburger patties, cheese, chicken thighs, fish patties. Don't eat a bunch of simple carbs while you're trying to quit drinking. It's a bad combo. Some carbs, but make sure you're eating a lot of fat and protein with it.
Well, what was I saying?
Oh,
critical thinking.
Keep us posted. Keep us posted. Keep us posted. Good luck to you. Simple question. Why can't TVUSA go live with Candace? We're talking about her. She's the only one that came up with ridiculous parents' minds. Not making it. Ooh. Aaron would love to do that. Aaron would also like to talk to Andrew Colvette. Andrew. You better than this. The 5 to me was the worst. And then by day, I wouldn't let my kids be part of it. Great work, great person. Ghost in the Machine. That is in the crowd. So that's where you heard it from the crowd. Crowd dropped to the ground. Crowd first dropped low. Like we're drinking. It's a bad combo. Some carbs, but make sure you're eating a lot of fat and protein with it. And it'll keep your blood sugar steady, then you'll feel better and have a better chance of making it. Keep us posted. Keep us posted. Keep us posted. Good luck to you. Simple question. Why can't TVUSA go live with Candace? We're talking about her. She's the only one that came up with ridiculous parents' minds. Not making it. Ooh. Aaron would love to do that. Aaron would also like to talk to Andrew Colvette. Andrew. You better than this.
What did she... Oh, Logic 101. I think that's what he called it.
Great question. Great question. 33. Wait a minute. Oh, we're supposed to hate it. I used to like Larry Bird until I found out about Freemasons. I once accidentally completed a circuit by placing my elbow on a plate of salt water that held a round probe. Well, who among us? Who among us hasn't done that? I was hit with approximately 200,000 volts. I woke up on the ground behind my chair. The chair was undisturbed. Go back. I don't know what a volt is, but that's a lot. Like, I don't know whether there's ohms and volts and watts. Can't tell you one from the other. But I know that the number 200,000 is very high. It's very large number.
Oh, what book did he get?
I keep your elbow out of plates of salt water. Cannot bust your amazing great work. Thank you, Cheryl. Dude, I've been learning a lot from my ancient yet sharpest conspiracy theories. Of late, we've been on the satanic rulers who run the world politics. Bad aliens to him. Scary to see it all return so far. Yeah, I think the whole alien phenomenon is a deal. I mean, what's up there about it?
Okay, one yawn.
Weird. I think I might be back. I may find it later. But yeah. I think that's where a lot of that comes from. A lot of that comes from. Kudos to you for always making me laugh. You're amazing. And I got my sister in your podcast, and she loves you too. Well, your sister sounds amazing. You sound amazing. So thank you. At Charlie's memorial, Erica was wearing 10 set rings, and when she and Trump hugged, Erica threw up devil. I recognized immediately. From that moment on, I knew Erica was not who we thought. Do you think this is the end of TPUSA work? 10 set rings. Is that true? Is this true?
Temple of Set Rings. Erica threw up devil horns.
Set ring, symbolic jewelry for members of the esoteric temple set, featuring Egyptian satanic imagery like the Eye of Set or Baphomet.
What?
You know, I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about, but if I had a ring and someone said, hey, kind of looks like Baphomet, you're not going to wear that ring. I don't want people to be confused. That's scary. I don't know if that's true. I don't know what she was wearing.
So what was it? Temple of what rings?
Sure. Try to keep your elbow out of the soul. Good luck, your mate. Great work. Thanks, Joe. Good content.
Alright.
Dude, I've been learning a lot from my ancient yet sharpest conspiracy theories. Of late, we've been on the satanic rulers who run the world politics. Bad aliens to him. It's scary to see all these true so far. Yeah, I think the whole alien phenomenon is a deal. I got a book over there about it. I don't know exactly where it is. I think I might get it back. Maybe I'll find it later. But yeah, I think that's where a lot of that comes from. A lot of that comes from. Kudos to you for always making me laugh. You're amazing. And I got my sister in your podcast, and she loves you too. Well, your sister sounds amazing. You sound amazing. So thank you.
There it is. Temple of Set Rings.
And when she and Trump hugged, Erica threw up devil. I recognized immediately. From that moment on, I knew Erica was not who we thought. Do you think this is the end of TPUSA work? Temple of Set Rings. Is that true? Is this true?
Oh, it has that guy with the eyebrows again.
For members of the esoteric temple set, featuring Egyptian satanic imagery like the Eye of Set or Baphomet.
Wait.
You know, I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about.
All right.
But if I had a ring and someone said, hey, kind of looks
I
like
just had a
Baphomet,
little shock, hoping that I was like not.
I don't want people to be confused. That's scary. I don't know if that's true. I don't know
Temple
what you
of Set.
The N ring and the G ring, those are kids. The buzzer and the G. I don't know what it is. I'm glad you can find your wife. She's definitely crazy. She knows you just might know more than most. Thank you. I hope she trusts me. I hope she believes what I said. But yeah, look up the year 536, 537. And then, I got another one. Let me show you.
I want to get this off my screen.
Nevertheless, I think it's one of those important books ever. This was a New York Times, here's the New York Times book review, before I show you the title. Among general nonfiction, Worlds in Collision was being outsold by only one book, the Bible, the epicenter of a literary earthquake. It's this book right here, Manuel Belkowski's Worlds in Collision. Blew my mind. Now, I don't believe everything in that book, but I believe the general concept of the book. And the amount of hand-wringing from the establishment to try to destroy the book makes me believe even more. But I was going to preface the 536, 537 thing with Manuel Belkowski has a good explanation for that. It wasn't a worldwide volcano, just caused out random. So, yes, my wife thinks I'm crazy. No, she doesn't. Did I hear in Paulina Luna on the PBD? Yeah, even about that. Napa, you're telling us you don't watch every episode. I'm frankly devastated. Should I roll tape? Should I roll the tape of me covering that for like a half hour? Have you heard of Google Trends? Oh gosh, yes, you don't have to watch everything that's fun. A bell jar water drinker. Number 2, because I am number 1. Don't the scriptures say somewhere there will be wolves in sheep clothing? They do in fact. Now Satanists in angels' clothing. How can TR not? Well, yeah. How can TR not fire his attorney? Hire his own. Love each other. He can. He says faithful. He does faithful. So I mean, may not have it. You know, may not be able to. Elevator here. Yes. I'm not saying you have to listen to every program. I'm not saying you have to watch 12 hours a week of Real Podcast. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying if you do, you'll be way more educated. Yeah, I know, we need high IQ outfit merch. Think how huge this will be in the book. Everyone in the Balkans walking around every day, I'm like, what is that? They don't even speak English. They do speak English over there. What's a good Balkan language? I need to get Google Translate on the job. Google Translate, what's a good Balkan language? Is a, oh gosh. Hold on. What's the A country over there in the Balkans? I said it the other day. What is that? Albania. Yeah. Is Albanian a language? We're going to find out. No, it's not. Not on Albanian? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. So Albanian, switch it. So English. We got to say, this is a high IQ outfit. And it is pronounced, here, I'll let you guys listen along. Here we go. This is what's going to, it's going to be huge. They have no idea what's about. They have no idea what's coming their way. You ready for this? You going to listen to this? Yes, that's what I was saying. I was just saying that. I was just saying, the high IQ outfit. That's a lot of syllables for that, by the way. I don't know if I'm smart enough to speak Albanian. Too many syllables to keep track of. Please, it says, in a scale from Joe to Candace, where does Tyler's intensity? We'll find out. We'll find out. I don't know the answer to that.
That was a good question.
Some will find and ultimately end to clean up loose ends. Yeah, that's my concern. That's my concern. Wow, Michael Aquino? Oh, the documentary. Yeah, I blocked him.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go.
Won't happen again.
Thank you for joining me.
Why does it
Appreciate
look like
you.
Frank Turk fell to his knees to pick up a couple things in the grass to breathe
Just
grass?
a chilled
I saw him go to his
stream.
knees and
I
he does
appreciate
appear to
that.
look, but he doesn't think he
We were
can.
chilling with Brand,
Trust me, I watched that a
with
zillion
Baron Coleman
A
and
zillion
Baba
times.
Jolie.
times.
I'll put
Happy
links,
birthday,
I
Matt
guess.
Have a pop on me. Love your laugh,
See
Bear.
ya.
Never stop asking questions. Our only way to remain free. Thank you for the gift.
Wait, it
I
says
don't
it's
know if people are
initiating?
gifting or getting gifted. Either way.
What?
Yes, there's twice here. My mouse is dying.
I didn't sign off. I signed
but you
on to a
connected
different
jacket. Yeah,
channel.
this is right.
Oh, see ya.